Senior co-captain All-American Abigail Trujillo. Senior captain, four-time All-American Kaya Cromie. Junior mascot, two-time All-American Blake Carter. Senior co-captain, two-time All-American J.C. Borat. Junior co-captain, two-time All-American Haley LeBlanc. Senior spear president, All-American Braylee Wood. Junior squad leader, All-American Jordan Lovelace. Senior three-time All-American Emerson Easley. Senior All-American Riley Ensley. Senior All-American Maddie Lonclos. Senior three-time All-American Anne-Marie Chris. Junior two-time All-American Gigi Garcia. Junior two-time All-American Isabella Ramirez. Junior three-time All-American Nisi Rodriguez. And junior two-time All-American Annabelle Pacheco. Cheerleader of the Week, the seniors. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication over the last 4 years. And the head coach of the Deer Park Cheerleaders is Courtney McGlynn. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand and take a few moments of silence to consider the safety of the players and other participants in tonight's contest, the sportsmanship that will be displayed both on the field and in the stands, and finally, for everyone's safe return home following the game. Thank you. Please remain standing as we'll now hear the school songs. For both schools, first, the visitors from Barbers Hill, followed by the Deer Park High School song.
Well, hard to believe it's already week 3 of the 2024 season. Mason Pratt here alongside Shane Krill inside the booth here at Clyde Abshire Stadium. Deer Park getting ready to play host to the Eagles of Barbers Hill, and two teams coming in with kind of two different mindsets. Deer Park looking to bounce back after that loss last week against the Woodlands. Meanwhile, for Barbers Hill, off to a 2-0 start. They're looking to ride that momentum, but Deer Park trying to bounce back after a tough loss. They hung with the Highlanders for a while last week.
Yeah, I think just cleaning it up is the name of the game, and obviously special teams is a big part of that. There's 3 facets to the game, so you got to have some good special teams, kick coverage, punt coverage, all of that to improve.
Highlanders scored in all 3 phases last week in the win over Deer Park. We'll get into that a little bit later on, but getting ready for kickoff here. We'll throw it over to the PA and get ready for the national anthem.
High School JROTC color guard. The right guard, Cadet Second Lieutenant Brittany Chacon. The U.S. flag carried by Cadet First Lieutenant Abigail Bach. Texas flag carried by Cadet Corporal Samara Flores. And the left guard, Cadet First Sergeant Aiden Caney. And now our national anthem.
Well, another great home crowd on hand here at Clyde Abshire Stadium. Second home game for the Deer. First one came back in week 1 in that win over LaPorte, but we talked about last week going on the road up to Wood Forest Bank Stadium, taking on the Woodlands. Like we said, they were able to hang tight with the Highlanders through most of that first half, and then things just kind of snowballed. Kieselhorst threw a couple of picks, one late in the first half, then one when the game was kind of out of reach already. But when you have a quarterback that struggles, has a couple of picks in one game, what do you say to him throughout the week to try and right that ship?
You got to move on for sure. That's one of those things that you can't let one play affect the next and the next and the next. So certainly it's hey, look, let's correct the mistakes and let's go on from there. As I mentioned before, special teams to me is definitely an area of improvement to work on, and I know Coach Flynn is going to be making those adjustments, certainly.
Yeah, we certainly saw some mistakes. We saw some kickoff coverage issues in week 1 against LaPorte, and then kickoff return trying to field the ball just on the opening kickoff last week against the Woodlands created some kind of problems. And so, like you said, certainly a lot of things to correct on the special teams unit.
Yeah, and for me, it's also being very self-critical if I'm a player. If I'm a coach, knowing yourself, knowing what your capabilities are, and then being disciplined. So staying in your running lanes. If they're starting to get out leverage, you're making adjustments, you're taking good angles. Small things, but they make a big difference.
But the other side of that coin is there are some positives to take away from that loss last week against the Woodlands. The fact was that a lot of things didn't go Deer Park's way, but that they were still in that ball game for the majority of it.
Oh, you're definitely there. I think they were a little bit lucky that it wasn't a little bit worse maybe going into halftime, but at the same time, the defense, I thought they played pretty well. I mean, the D-line was moving. They were running with that outside zone. You had linebackers flying around, and it was a lot of good stuff that I saw from week 1 to week 2. And so now we're coming into week 3, and that's what you want to see, just constant improvement.
And hopefully that's what we will see. Barbers Hill coming into Clyde Abshire Stadium tonight.
will receive.
Barbers Hill winning the toss and deferring, so Deer Park offense is going to be heading out there first. And Barbers Hill coming off a win last week over Manville. And the Eagles, they're off to a good start, led by their quarterback, Zeke Cantu, 7 touchdowns already, no picks on the season. Eagles looking to ride that momentum.
Yeah, and I'm going to add on to that. He looked really sharp, Zeke did, and the mental toughness and discipline to not throw, those interceptions, to take what they're giving you, that's something that you're always aspiring to teach young quarterbacks. So it's a good job by him.
Yeah, he's off to a good start, but it'll be the Deer Park offense hopefully hitting the field first. 88 degrees here at kickoff. Clear skies here on a Friday night in the Houston area. Trey Martinez and Andre Jackson back deep for Deer Park. Waiting on the kick from Anthony Castillo, the junior kicker, setting the ball up on the tee.
I really like having Andre Jackson back there with him, because if they don't kick it to him, you got a guy willing to go out there and lay his body on the line, leading the way for.
Yeah, he had a monster hit on kickoff coverage last week, but it'll be a high pooch kick, and this one could be fielded by the running back late about the 30. That ball pops loose, but fortunately for Deer Park, rolls out of bounds, and the Deer going to take over on their first drive at their own 39-yard line.
Well, we know Barbers Hill has watched film and go straight to the pooch kick. But, again, there's an adjustment. Nice play on the ball. Now protect it.
So the offense is going to be coming out first. Kiesel Horse, like we said, a couple of interceptions last week. Did have the big, long touchdown throw to Trey Martinez in that first half against the Woodlands. And I'm sure that's something that Coach Flynn would like to get a little bit more of. More touches for Martinez, the speedster. First down and 10. And Martinez is going to get the call here on first down, looking for a crease, and he's got nowhere to go. Good job by this Barbers Hill defense to set that edge.
Yeah, they kind of strung it out nicely, and you got to put a little bit of blame on Martinez there, because the block got kicked out, and you got to be able to put your foot in the ground and get upfield.
Antoine Bolden for the Eagles from that cornerback spot coming up, in a 5-yard loss on first down for Deer Park, back to the own 34. Laying the running back in the backfield, set all in motion. It'll be a handoff. No, a little RPO. Pass deflected at the line and falls incomplete. The linebacker, Edmonston, gets a hand on it.
That's a great play by Edmonston, because you don't realize how hard it is when you're rushing the passer, getting up the field, and all of a sudden to throw your hands up in the air. Great job by him.
And just like that, Deer Park looking at a 3rd down and long on their opening drive. 3rd and 15 to go. Martinez in the slot, top of your screen. Set all split out to the bottom. Setting up a screen. Pass complete to Martinez. No gain on the play as he is hit and brought down immediately. Braden Hamby, the safety, coming down, and Deer Park goes 3 plays backwards and out.
He read that right from the beginning of the play. He was following him inside the entire time. Your O-line doesn't have a chance to even get out there to kick him out.
Cale Dunham, senior safety, standing back at about his own 31, waiting on the punt from Hurtado. And this one goes straight in the air, and it is going to roll out of bounds. Fortunate for the Eagles at the Deer Park 40. This punt goes nowhere. And a short field set up for Barbers Hill on their opening drive.
More special teams issues here on punt. They had a guy back there with kind of your backline blockers, and I don't know if that caused him to kind of flex his toe a little bit and shorten up his kick, but it did not go far at all.
Ball spotted at the 41. Like we said, Zeke Cantu leading this offense for Barbers Hill. 22 of 37 through the air on the year. 362 yards, 7 touchdowns. Like we said, no picks. And Keegan Morton, number 2, his favorite target so far. And Morton split out by himself, top of your screen. First down for the Eagles. Cantu looks that way. Going to go for a deep ball for Morton, but overthrew him, incomplete. Chavez in coverage for Deer Park as they were looking for the home run ball. They were able to hit that home run ball against Manville on their first play.
Yeah, right there, Chavez did a good job of he used the sideline to his advantage. Got a little bit of contact, but then he walled him off and used the sideline to his advantage there. It's always a little bit, I think, defense, when you see those offensive linemen immediately stand up and pass set on first down, you're a little bit, whoa, we're about to get the ball rolling quick.
Offensive lineman down for Barbers Hill, but Morton, the intended target on that last throw versus Manville. 218 total yards for the wide receiver on just 11 touches. Had over 130 receiving, 80 more on the ground as a rusher. 3 total touchdowns as well, so he will be a player to keep your eye on if you're Deer Park defensively for sure.
He's definitely got some speed, and I think being physical with him, like Chavez did up there, is going to be key. Make him uncomfortable. Don't let him just get the legs burning.
And Rodriguez, player down for the Eagles, looks to be walking off to the sideline under his own power. Good to see. So 2nd down and 10 coming up for Barbers Hill on their opening possession. Taking advantage of a short Deer Park punt. 2nd down and 10 from the Deer 41. Full wide receiver set here on 2nd down. And they'll keep it on the ground. Met right at the line of scrimmage, and 4 maroon jerseys converge after just a 1-yard run there for the Eagles.
Really like the improvement the D-line has made week to week. Just a simple zone scheme there. Quarterback's maybe trying to hold the outside linebacker a little bit with kind of a long mesh, but great job by them.
Gabe Howard, just a gain of 1 there. And this is like you said, a defensive line unit going to be without their senior captain, Colquitt. We saw him without pads on at the coin toss. Cantu, little RPO. Pass overthrew his intended man in the flats, goes incomplete. Looking for Nick Thompson.
Andre Jackson did a nice job, too, of recognizing where the ball was. He was trying to go with the ball. He's kind of getting blocked, but he maintains leverage. So if that pass is completed, it's getting blown up pretty quickly.
And a good job by the Deer Park defense, set up with a short field, shutting down that Barbers Hill drive. 4th down coming up, and the punting unit out for the Eagles. Andre Jackson back inside his own 10, waiting on the punt. Low line drive kicked, gonna roll all the way inside the 5 and gonna be downed all the way at the 1-yard line. Great coverage downfield. Braden Hamby gets down there and downs it at the Deer Park 1-yard line. Great punt, great coverage.
Yeah, and he's got 2 big-time plays already under his belt, blowing up the screen earlier.
From their own 1-yard line.
A long way to go here for Deer Park on their 2nd drive. So 2 backs in the backfield with Kieselhorst standing in his own end zone. 1st down. Run play. Brown gets the call. Looking for a hole up the middle. Not a whole lot there. And big number 70 anchoring the middle part of that defensive line. Bryce Jackson, the sophomore, gets to Brown right at the line of scrimmage.
Man, I tell you what, big number 70 anchoring is exactly what he did. He's taking on a double team and basically allowing the linebacker to have a free shot on the running back, and it was a loud pop. I heard it from here.
So no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Back-to-back run plays for Brown. This time tries the left side, finds a little bit of a crease. Takes some Eagles defenders with him up ahead to about the 9. And will give
Really,
Deer Park offense a little bit of breathing room.
Really good hard run there, and I like how first contact, but he's still fighting through it. No arm tackles right there. It's like, hey, we're going to make multiple guys have to bring me down.
Brings up
3rd down and manageable for sure. 3rd down and 3. Deer Park trying to avoid their 2nd consecutive 3-and-out. Little jet sweep to Schroeder. Looks for somewhere to cut up field. Nothing doing there. In fact, going to be dropped for about a 1-yard loss.
Handoff goes to number 8, Andon Schroeder.
And now Brown, who was doing some lead blocking on that play,
Officials timeout for injury.
Might have got rolled up on a little bit. Hate to see that. That's just something you can't control as a blocker out in front. Can't tell what's going on behind you.
Deer Park once again unable to convert on third down. Still looking for their first down of the game, but the punting unit going to be coming out.
Well, one of the takeaways I'm noticing right off the bat is they're doing a great job on the perimeter.
Yeah.
So that tells me we got to be able to run between the tackles, maybe push the ball downfield a little bit, but they are definitely securing the perimeter run game. Short passing, screen passes to receivers. It's time to attack in the middle like they did there on those first 2 downs. And good to see him standing up.
Brown walking gingerly, but heading towards the sideline with no assistance. But punting unit back out for Deer Park. And this time Hurtado standing about 7 yards deep in his own end zone.
Back to punt for Deer Park. Number 17, Hurtado.
Dunham for the Eagles back at about the Deer Park 35. Hurtado going to be kicking into the wind. And the rush was on, but Hurtado gets this one away, sending Dunham all the way back to midfield. And good coverage downfield and bringing it down at the Eagle 25, or 45 rather.
Landon Baker, man, he did a great job getting down there and then solo open field tackle.
A great kick by Hurtado after that last one. He didn't get all of it.
No, that thing hung in the air for a while.
The Eagles will operate first down at 10 from their own 44-yard line.
So Eagles back out for their second drive. Start this one still a pretty good field position at their own 44. 4 wide receiver set. 3 to the short near side of the field. Quick little screen pass complete to Morton. Not going to get to the first wave. Looked like Adam White able to track him down. He along with Andre Jackson combined for the stop. Pickup of about 3 for Morton on first down.
Gain of 4 brings up second down at 6.
Cantu takes a snap, mishandled it initially. Now just going to take what he can get as he goes sliding down, takes a hit at the tail end of it, and this one going to go against Deer Park after Cantu was giving himself up.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit more discipline as a defender, and I know it's a lot harder to do when, you see the quarterback taking off running, you're thinking it's time to get my licks in, right? And he kind of slides last second and got to be able to pull up. Don't lower your head like that, especially when the helmet pops off. It makes it look a lot worse.
Yeah.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit. Defense, number 46, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That bails out Barbers Hill, who was looking at about a 3rd and 6. Instead, a new set of downs pushed into Deer Park territory. Derek Wojtek, the sophomore linebacker, the guilty party there for Deer Park. First down for the Eagles. Ball at the Deer Park 37-yard line. Play clock at 15, and now Cantu going to be split out. So a little bit of a wildcat look here. Morton going to be receiving the snap. And just a design keeper for Morton along the right side, and breaks through, and good hard run. Picks up about 9.
Well, I love the referees. I hope the umpire or the back judge got this block in the back.
There is a flag thrown.
Because
at about the 29.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty.
back to back, man.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, last week against the Woodlands, you kind of had this feeling of 1 step forward, 2 steps back a little bit, where they have some really good plays and then almost self-inflicted injuries like what's happening right here.
Just like that, Barbers still, they haven't moved the ball offensively much on this drive, but they've got it in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the Deer Park 14. Cantu, option look. Keeper takes a big shot at the 10. Was not sliding this time, but those hits on the quarterback throughout the night, those are going to add up over the course of 48 minutes, you've got to believe. But Cantu picks up about 4. This time 2 in the backfield with Cantu. Howard to his left, Morton to his right. Hands it off to Morton, following the block, and Morton's got space, and he's got a touchdown. 9-yard touchdown run. Keegan Morton with his 2nd touchdown rushing on the season.
And I don't want to take anything away from the O-line, because they certainly did a great job right there on that lead zone lead look, getting up to the linebackers, and it opened up. Could have driven maybe a small vehicle through there.
How small? Go-kart small? Bigger?
Fiat.
A Fiat. Castillo on for the extra point. Jackson nearly got there, but Castillo able to boot it through, and Deer Park falls behind 7-0. Eagles take advantage of a couple of personal foul penalties, and Morton caps it off for the 9-yard touchdown run.
It's just so deflating, you know, when you have those, you've got those mental errors that take away 30 yards and you hadn't hardly done anything, you know, nothing. I mean, I'm not saying they're not without fault. There was definitely fault there, but you know, play-wise, you're giving them yardage. You got to be more disciplined, mentally tough, and correct those things.
Tonight's first downs are brought to you by Shell.
Deer Park offense going to need to get going as well. Still without a first down, just about the halfway point of the first quarter. They have 2 3-and-outs so far.
FCU, Shell Federal Credit Union, proud sponsor of Deer Park ISD.
So no Martinez back deep for Deer Park. It'll be Schroeder and Jackson, and they've moved up that back line to about the 15.
And number 4, Andre Jackson.
So Castillo, ball teed up. Eagles with a 7-0 lead. High, short kick again. This ball drifting, and it will go out of bounds just inside the 25. So Deer Park going to get a little extra yardage after the penalty. Coach Flynn and the offense still looking for their first down. What do you try and get your offense going, just to try and get them into a rhythm?
Out of bounds.
I think, you know, you're throwing some stuff at the wall, and I like what they're doing, trying to stretch the field sideline to sideline. They've done it with Martinez twice, which I really enjoy. The good thing about that is there's counters to that. So now you can come back with the same motion, but then hit it downhill with your quarterback or with a running back, you know, counter, inside zone look, just like what we have here.
Kieselhorst, the keeper, up the middle, spun down after just a 1-yard run.
Brought down by number 44, Isaiah Burns.
And usually a very, very hard runner. That looked a little bit, maybe a little bit more timid than I was expecting from him. And, you know, he did take a huge shot on that interception last week. And
That's true. That pick 6 thrown late in that loss against the Woodlands. 2nd down and 9. Kieselhorst takes a deep drop, has time. Still scanning downfield, throws, and it's going to be in and out of the hands. Looking for Martinez, who had a step on his man. Kieselhorst just needed a little extra oomph on that ball.
Man, he had his guy beat by a bit. If he was able to lay this ball out up the field more, he's running in for a touchdown. That being said, make an adjustment on the ball. You like to tell your receivers, hey, you touched it with your hands. You want to bring that in, man.
3rd down and 9. Deer Park still without a first down. 5:35 to go, first quarter. 3 wide receivers far side of the field. Kieselhorst now setting up a screen. Pass is going to be caught, but he pays the price. Lay with the reception, but he gets brought down hard by Carson Hahn, the linebacker, as soon as he made contact with that ball.
Very, very disciplined football by Barbers Hill right now. They've tried 2 screens now, and both of the screens have just been sniffed out immediately.
Great hit by Hahn, the junior. 2-yard loss on the play, and another 3 and out for Deer Park. Hurtado going to try and flip the field. Had a great punt last time out. High kick. This one going to be fair catch at about the Eagles 40. And Barbers Hill certainly winning the starting field position battle so far. Started 1 drive on Deer Park's half, and the other 2, they've been about near their own 40 or 45.
Slowly going back the other way, but you really need your offense step up. You need to make, like, that's a big play Martinez has the opportunity to make. Kieselhorst, I'm going to say, he has the opportunity too, equally, to make that play. And you can really, really help your defense out by extending a drive more than 3 plays.
Yeah, already Deer Park defense has been out there a lot in this first quarter. TJ Jordan, the running back in the backfield with Cantu here on first down. And he gets the call, met at the line. Good open field tackle there.
Handoff goes to number 26, TJ Jordan.
Like 46, Wojtek.
Wojtek, yeah. It was a great job shooting it on that zone play. Maintain gap discipline, and then when you compress it, he's right. Oh, man, great job by him shooting the gap. Just saw it on the replay.
Jordan dropped for a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11. Cantu, little RPO, finds Morton on the little screen play in the flat. Morton breaking through a couple tackles and takes it into Deer Park territory, still fighting his way down to about the Deer 46. He picks up the first down on the short reception, and then he just uses that speed and toughness to pick up the first down.
They ran it earlier, the exact same play. It's a little inside zone, triple option look, and he flipped it out and missed him.
Screen play, Morton, that ball, great break on it by Andre Jackson to knock that ball down.
Going back to the previous thought, Andre Jackson, the first time they ran it, the option play, it was overthrown, but he had also beat the block. This time he almost, the blocker got a little bit more of him, was able to push him just out of making a tackle, and then hard running by him, Morton, to make something that should have been a 5-yard gain into a 10-yard gain.
2nd down and 10, following the incompletion there. Cantu, another short play, and that ball is going to be picked off. Great play. Andre Jackson with his 3rd pick of the season.
Great job by him, and he's been sitting out there on almost everything, and so as soon as you see the quarterback turn his eyes to the outside like that, you're like, dude, you asking to get picked off.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's what happened. You like to see him take it on the first catch, maybe go 6, but
how about the turnover belt there? And well done, Jackson.
I really enjoy watching him play football, man. It's just a physical, old school. Great job with his eyes.
Way to stick with it. And Deer Park gets a little bit of a break here for the offense. They're starting this drive at their own 43, trying to find a little bit of offensive momentum. Kieselhorst, go on the ground. Good run up the middle, up near midfield. Jasper Hernandez, number 32, his first carry of the night.
This is exactly what we're talking about with that motion they did earlier where they're giving the ball and trying to stretch the field out to the perimeter. You get the linebackers to take a half step, 2 steps even, maybe outside, and then you just hand it off to your running back, and he's got a little bit bigger of a hole to run through. Nice, 5, 6, 7-yard gain right there on first down.
Just shy of the midfield stripe. 3.5 to go. Deer Park still looking for their first down. Fakes the pitch. Kieselhorst, deep drop, under pressure, throws off the back foot and incomplete. Looking for his running back out of the backfield. Trace Calhoun, the freshman tight end, rather.
pretty dangerous the way that he kind of almost booted off on the action and then turned back the opposite direction and then threw off the back foot. And he had a guy over there, and he was open, just the ball didn't make it to him.
3rd down and 3. Hernandez checks back in at running back. Kieselhorst looking towards the sideline. Play clock at 10. Kieselhorst takes the snap. Quick throw. Pass complete to Setall. And Deer Park going to have their first down. Pass complete to Setall down to the Eagles 45.
Nice little slant route down at the bottom. You saw them flip positions from how they were originally lined up. If I'm a DB on the other side, I'm thinking, okay, one of these guys is a little bit more of a receiver type out here. Probably going to be keying on him pretty hard if they start kind of moving around late like that.
New set of downs. Back on the ground, trying to test the middle. Big hole up the middle. Good run and hurdling a man down to the 35. Number 35 on the carry, Christian Gamez.
When you see a power run play, because they're pulling the left guard there, when you see a power run play and it opens up like that, he almost beat his guard through the hole. It lets you know that the double team up front is working really well. So a little bit of mixture of zone and power counter.
Kieselhorst on 2nd down, under pressure, and he's going to be dropped back at the 40. Actually, that was 1st down, rather. Gamez picked up the 1st down, but the sack going to be pushing the Deer back to the 40.
Correction tackle made by number 8, Colton Edmonston.
You know, the game is such a game of momentum, and it's always hard to know kind of sometimes what the flow is going to feel, what it's going to dictate kind of the play call and stuff. But you think after a couple of good run plays, 1st down, you might want to try to start beating it into them a little bit.
Andre Jackson checked in on offense, standing to Kieselhorst's right. He, along with Martinez in the backfield, handed off. Actually, number 6, Chavez on the carry. So a couple of defensive backs lined up in the backfield offensively there for Deer Park.
Handoff goes to Ethan Chavez.
Not a whole lot there in Deer Park. With another 3rd and long coming up inside of 90 seconds to go, 1st quarter.
I like it. You know, you got athletes on both sides of the ball. You can use them on both sides of the ball. So
maybe 2-down territory for Deer Park if what they can get here. That ball nearly intercepted on the throw towards the Deer Park sideline.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if Setall got his feet tangled up or just kind of slipped on the out-cutting route there, but he was down on the ground before the ball was halfway through the air.
Antoine Bolden nearly able to undercut it. It goes incomplete. Punting unit out now. A chance for Deer Park to pin Barbers Hill deep. Hurtado has time, gets this one. High kick.
Try on the ball.
Going to take a Deer Park roll right around the 10 or 11 yard line or so before being downed. So Eagles going to be facing their worst starting field position tonight, but a good sign by the Deer Park offense there, following the turnover, at least trying to get a little bit of offensive momentum going, find some things that are working.
You know, it's always interesting because you want to get your, you want to let your athletes play, put them in opportunities to do well. Having a couple DBs on the field right there,
From the 17-yard line.
it's always fun, and you want to see it like really turn out for the best. But sometimes if you hadn't taken a lot of snaps and a lot of practice snaps at running the ball, you're not used to kind of the tempo of kind of that slow to fast, letting blocks develop that you really need to do as a running back.
Cantu thought about going to the screen far side of the field for Morton. It wasn't there, so Cantu just picks up what he could up the middle.
Yeah, Adam White immediately was all over the screen, and he smartly pulled it down and just tried to take what he could get on his own.
And just in the early going, so many ways for Barbers Hill to hide where Morton lines up. They put him in so many different places. 2nd down and 8. Keep it on the ground. Running back up the middle. Not a whole lot of there, going right into the teeth of that Deer Park defense. And a flag thrown along the Deer Park sideline. Jackson and Carter Wampler.
I just saw the aftermath of it, but I do know that the Barbers Hill receiver was on the ground and Jackson was walking off about 5 yards off the sideline. So it usually doesn't bode well to the guy walking away and the guy rolling on the ground.
Yeah, based on Coach Flynn's body language. This could be another personal foul penalty going against Deer Park.
Oh.
No.
They going the other way.
Actually backing it up. The way Coach Flynn was reacting.
Dead ball. Unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 1. Half the distance. 3rd down.
Wow.
There was a flag after the play against Barbers Hill for unsportsmanlike.
And usually if you're the one on the ground, you're not usually the one committing the personal foul penalty. But that was the case. 3rd down, ball all the way back at the Barbers Hill 13. Low snap. Cantu picks it up under pressure. Pocket collapsing. Stays. Fires over the middle. Incomplete. Looking for the crossing route over the middle. Nothing there.
Well, you know, going back to the personal foul, you know, typically it's the guy who responds that's going to get the flag, and you see him walking away, so you're thinking maybe he's the one that responded. They possibly saw the initiating action, and great job, referees.
And a good job by this Deer Park defense, forcing the Barbers Hill 3 and out. Aided in part by that penalty, but Deer Park with an opportunity to have some good starting field position. Martinez waiting to receive the punt, standing back near midfield. Punt nearly got there, but it's going to take a bit of a roll, and Martinez is going to watch it head into the Barbers Hill sideline. Boy, just about once per season, I always get fooled by the penalty spot for the soccer field. Yeah, that yellow dot right there at about the 2 or 3.
Every time we're down on one end or the other, I think there's a flag in the backfield, and I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's soccer folk.
So the Deer Park offense back out. Hernandez going to start this drive in the backfield with Kieselhorst. 1st and 10 from the Eagles 46. 1 second to go here in the first quarter. Option look, keeper by Kieselhorst. Keeper along the left side, picks up a few. And that is how the first quarter comes to an end. So after the first 12 minutes, Barbers Hill lead it over Deer Park. It was a 9-yard touchdown run by Keegan Morton and the Eagles after the first quarter with a 7-0 lead. Back with more here from Abshire Stadium on the Deer Network.
We are pleased to announce the 2024-25 Student Council and Class Officers for Deer Park High School. Student Council is run by Christine Franklin, Andy Mormon, Brandis Willis, and Christina Guerrero. Student Council President Jordan Mormon. Student Council Vice President Elia Garrett. Student Council Secretary Andrew Ramos. Student Council Treasurer Antonio Galvan. Student Council Historian Isabella Solis. North Campus Coordinator Jean Reyes Rivera. Public Relations Senior Seat Jocelyn Salas. Public Relations Junior Seat Madeline Ponce. Project Manager Ava Richardson. Senior Class President Hanley Helms. Senior Class Vice President Rayleigh Wood. Senior Class Secretary J.C. Boren. Senior Class Treasurer Chloe Anderson. Junior Class President Haley LeBlanc. Junior Class Vice President Trey Mormon. Junior Class Secretary Bailey Ripley. Junior Class Treasurer Chloe Parklow. Sophomore Class President Jenna Barty. Sophomore Class Vice President Bon Lee. Sophomore Class Secretary Jimena Jimenez. Sophomore Class Treasurer Alexander Gonzalez. Pride and Patriotism Committee Chair Evangelina Sanchez. Community Service Committee Chair Randy Sheffield. Dash Committee Chair Aubrey Smith. Energy and Environment Committee Chair Sebastian Zayed. and Fundraising Committee Chair Madeline Avina. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to our 2024-25 Student Council and class officers from Deer Park High School.
Welcome back to Abshire Stadium, everybody. Mason Pratt here alongside former Deer Park wide receiver and teammate of Coach Flynn, Shane Creel in the booth. Deer Park and Barbers Hill. Eagles with a 7-0 lead. Deer Park offense trying to respond. They're setting up a little screen. Double pass, has a man wide open. Martinez caught, and he can stroll in. Touchdown, Deer Park.
Number 2, Trey Martinez on the touchdown reception.
Looked like the little screen initially to Schroeder, listed as a quarterback on our roster, and that's why. But Martinez, wide open.
Coming out of a flip of the quarter there. We're looking on senior night at some of the introductions, and then you come out in that kind of wonky formation where you're splitting out some offensive linemen. It looks like it's going to be an obvious screen, and then down the field for a touchdown, double pass.
Hurtado, extra points, up and good, and just like that, one play into the second quarter, and we are knotted at 7 apiece.
Our new score with 11:55 left in the second quarter.
Just really cool design there. They just snuck him out of the backfield, and I like that.
42 yards to Martinez.
You always have about 1 or 2 trickery plays that you're ready to spring on people at different times, and ideally you want to do it when it's the least expected. So success.
It worked. Deer Park finds the end zone, and we got a brand new ball game tied at 7.
Yeah, you just like I was saying when we were off the air just a second ago, we kind of handed them the first touchdown they got, giving them 30 yards on 2 personal fouls, basically.
Yep.
Come on. You eliminate that, and the field position is completely different. Defense is actually playing really solid. So
yeah, they've kind of had their backs up against the wall, having to defend some short fields in that first quarter. Now things have kind of reset. See what Deer Park can do. Morton lurking back deep for the Eagles at about his own 12, waiting on the kickoff. High short kick, and not going to get a chance. Morton was running up on it, thinking that he might get a shot at it, but
well, Morton was the one calling fair catch, so nobody's getting a shot at it then.
So Eagles going to start this drive. Ball spotted on the near hash right at the 25.
The Eagles will operate first down at 10 from their own 25-yard line.
Gabe Howard going to start this drive in the backfield with Cantu. 3 wideouts near side of the field. Morton in the middle of those 3 wideouts, but they'll keep it on the ground for Howard. Good hard run to the second level and more before being tracked down by Adam White, but not before Eagles pick up a first down out to the Barbers Hill 37. 12-yard run there by Howard.
It's always nice to see, how different offensive coordinators attack defenses with, similar formations but different plays off of it. Right there, they went trips into the boundary again, where they had thrown a screen that did pretty well earlier, and then this time they've got, inside zone going the other way off of it, and Adam White actually has to go the opposite side of the field to catch up to him.
Howard stays in, gets the call again. Big hole again along the left side, takes it into Deer Park territory. Jackson got a hand on him, able to slow him down enough before help arrives. But Howard takes it down to the Deer Park 40.
They figured out something with their blocking scheme on inside zone, running it cut back on the weak side.
Eagles go tempo once again. Howard along the left side, met at the line, and a better job up front defensively for Deer Park.
Howard up the middle.
Keeps him in check for about maybe a 4-yard gain.
Brings up second down at 6.
Number 93, Brody Bailey, along that defensive line, got a hand on him and able to bring down Howard after that 4-yard run. But just like that, Barbers Hill marching into Deer Park territory. 2nd and 6 from the 36. Another run along the left side. Deer Park defense there initially, and good pop put on about 4 maroon jerseys.
Goes to number 26, DJ
Finally bring down number 26, DJ Jordan.
Wotek makes the tackle.
Nice little 1-2 punch for Barbers Hill between Jordan and Howard.
Gain of 2 brings up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out exactly where the hole was kind of being opened up right there on that inside zone look. Looks like maybe some adjustments were made by the linebackers that time, and the safety flying up also has to be prepared to fill.
3rd down, Barbers Hill, 4 yards to go. Deer Park brings a blitz. Cantu has time, has running room if he wants it, takes off with it and picks up the 1st down, but a flag thrown back near the line of scrimmage near the 38.
Typically thinking hold, right?
Flags on the play.
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's the worst nightmare for an offensive lineman when the play goes a really long time in your pass protection, and maybe you're initially in a really good spot, but then you can't see what's happening behind you. Quarterback runs by, and all of a sudden the guy you're locked up with looks like it's really good blocking, but then he goes outside of your arm reach, and oh no, got me called for holding.
All the way back to the 44. That one going against the left tackle. 3rd down, 14 to go. Cantu looks left, now scans the middle of the field. He's going to be brought down, sacked on the play. Number 90 for Deer Park got there. Michael Benavidez, the sophomore.
I almost thought he went too far up the field, but he does a great job of that bull rush and then getting off of it and grabbing onto the quarterback. Nice job by him.
Nearly had the strip as well, but like you said, great bull rush. He just powered his way into the backfield and got to Cantu there.
Sometimes on that bull rush, you get too excited and you're getting a lot of movement, and then you run right by your the target, the quarterback in that instance. Oh,
high
yeah.
snap all the way back inside the 20, and Deer Park going to be taken over near the Barbers Hill red zone.
Smart play by the punter there, just jumping on it and not trying to do anything else, because he had someone breathing fire right on his rear end. Adam White, linebacker.
Number 31, Carson Hahn, who we already saw make some good plays defensively. He's also doubles as the Barbers Hill punter. That ball, he never had a chance at it, but Kieselhorst and company take over.
Oh, look who we got at running back.
And Adam White checks in. He'll get the call on 1st down. Starts right, comes back left. And he's upended after a short run. Also a flag thrown back near the line of scrimmage. This could be backing up Deer Park. Antoine Bolton on the stop for the Eagles.
I'm going to reiterate again. I mean, I like it as a change of pace.
Offense, number 75.
Throwing in some of these defensive guys to do some stuff, especially if they're just pure athletes like that, But the tempo and where your eyes need to be and kind of how to run the football like a running back is something that takes a lot of snaps and a lot of reps in practice. I know he's getting reps, right? He's definitely getting the reps. Obviously what he did right there shows, but he's also your starting linebacker, captain at linebacker.
So after the penalty, 1st and 20, ball back at the Eagles 30. Jasper Hernandez in at running back. He gets the call. Trying to find some running room up the middle. Not a whole lot there, maybe a yard or so. Good job by that Eagles front 7 to shut that one down.
Stopped by number 94, Trey Clark.
Clark along the defensive line for the Eagles.
Second down and 18.
Brings down Hernandez after a 2-yard gain. Second down and 18. Now, Gamez splits out. Kieselhorst sets up the screen. Pass complete to Settle. Works his way back towards the middle of the field and then some. Looking for blocks. He's got a wall. And Settle inside the 10. All the way for the touchdown. 29-yard touchdown reception. He ran a lot more than that, but he found the end zone.
Great vision by him. And you know what? The initial outside linebacker out there and safety were kind of in a good position, but Settle allowed his blockers to set it up for him and kind of just followed a natural wave there. It led him around the corner, and just good job by him all the way around.
Caught that ball probably on the far side numbers and scored at the near side pylon.
He ran 80 yards.
Good snap, hold is down, and Hurtado's extra point is through the uprights. And Deer Park with 14 unanswered have their first lead of the night. Here you see the vision and the yards after catch.
14 and Barbers Hill 7.
And he had a convoy once he got across that near side hash mark.
Yeah, it's what you really like to see your teammates, that kind of the play is getting into open field like that, and you're making some stuff. You're making, maybe you're supposed to get up the field, but you see something, and you got linemen down the field, you got receivers down the field. They're all blocking, all working to help you out. Great team effort right there.
7:51 to go in the first half. Deer Park with their first lead of the night, 14-7. And all 14 points coming here in this second quarter. Just over 4 minutes gone by of the second frame.
Number 2, Kagan Morton. And number 9, Dale Gardner back in to receive for the Eagles.
Kickoff is away, and Morton gonna get a chance from his own 20.
That is the
Starts
guy.
towards the middle of the field, takes a big hit as he crosses the 30 and brought down.
Kagan Morton on the return.
I know he's the one guy I'm probably not aiming the kick for,
Yeah.
Brought down by number 46, Derek
but
Warsack.
great coverage right there.
Morton, he has been a focal point through the air so far for Barbers Hill. They've tried a couple of home run shots at him. He does
First down
have
10 Barbers Hill from their own
the
33
Eagles'
yard
lone
line.
touchdown of the night. Came on a 9-yard touchdown run. One of those players and athletes, you just want to get the ball in his hands, no matter what.
Inside zone. Yep.
Hand it off. Another
This
big
is-
hole up the middle. And Barbers Hill crosses midfield. And Eagles on the run inside the 30 before being bumped out. Big run for Gabe Howard.
Handoff goes to number 28, Gabe Howard. Finally
And
run
you
out of
touched on
bounds
it.
by number 6,
This Eagles
Chavez.
offense, they're finding
But a big gain on the play by Howard. And an Eagle
mismatch
first
in the
down.
running game, and
The
Eagles going with tempo.
They're getting something they like, going trips into the boundary and then inside zone away from it.
And Howard
And he
luckily
just
slips
slips.
as he tried to make his
Handoff
cut
goes
along
to
the left
Howard.
side.
Yeah, and it is almost like he's pressing it the entire time and not look like, I think that thing is opening up on the front side
He
C
slips
gap
down,
almost.
loses 1 yard on the play, brings up second down.
And man, they got something they like with that formation and what the defense is, how they're aligning to it.
Howard slips, loses a yard. He'll get a breather. Play action. Cantu wrapped up. Going to just try and get positive yardage. Able to fall forward for a short gain.
Cantu on the quarterback
But he
keeper.
was under pressure almost as soon as he got deep into that drop. 88 Thomas Johnson for Deer Park applying pressure.
Yeah, great redirect right there by him because he almost hops out of there. Good athletic play, readjusting.
Third down and 9. Ball at the Deer Park
Official
19.
timeout on the field.
And the officials
Timeout.
taking a timeout here.
Barbers Hill. First charge, timeout.
Or actually, can be called
Timeout
by
taken by Barbers Hill.
Coach Absek and the Eagles. Coach Absek in his 4th season as head coach for Barbers Hill, 23-13
Tonight's game
overall
sponsors
record for the
sponsored
Eagles.
by Community
Came from
Trust
Cedar
PR.
Park,
At
where he won a
Community
state
Trust PR,
title
they believe in challenging the
with Cedar
status
Park,
quo
undefeated
of
in
emergency
2015. They
healthcare,
went 16-0.
commitment, and compassion. Their caring
Hard,
staff
hard
and
thing to do
board-certified
at
physicians
any
provide
level.
relief and restore you to health
Very hard
with
thing to do.
extraordinary care
Made
at
the
a
jump
timely
over
manner.
here to Barbers Hill in
Community
2021.
Trust DR,
Went 6-6, but he
your health, your
Eagles
first.
have improved every season that he
Community First DR,
has been at the
proud
helm.
sponsor
Went 6-6
of Deer Park
in
ISD.
2021, 8-4 in 22, 9-3 a season ago. So he's got the Eagles trending in the right direction. Off to a 2-0 start here in 2024.
So coming off of a timeout, they've got 9 yards to go. You want to play discipline, really have an eye for where those sticks are.
DJ Jordan, the running back. Nick Thompson also lined up, kind of his H-back before now. He splits out, lined up in the slot. Cantu calling things out. Play clock inside of 10 seconds. Still talking about it in the backfield. Play clock at 3. Cantu takes the snap.
Dadgummit,
Hands it off.
safety's got to come up.
Going to be picking up a first down and then some. Look at the push by Barbers Hill inside the 5. Great run by DJ Jordan.
And off goes the number 26.
So they kind of got out to that alignment we were talking about and ended up going right back to the inside zone, which they've had great success with. And I would be going back to it nonstop if you're going to continue to align to it like that. But the way Deer Park's playing is they're splitting out an outside linebacker way out wide to the 3 receiver side, but then your safety, your backside safety, is the side they're running to. He's got to be thinking, obviously his first responsibility is pass, but as soon as you see the ball getting handed off that way, you're part of the run stop right there.
Hand it off to Morton. Keeps his feet moving, trying to power towards the end zone. And Morton,
Down Barbers Hill.
initial contact made at the line of scrimmage, but a tough run. And he finds the end zone for the 2nd time tonight. Keegan Morton, he's not a big guy, but he runs with a lot of toughness.
Yes, absolutely. Those legs do not stop moving.
Number 83
Castillo
is
coming on with a chance to tie things up with
Colin Layton.
6:01 to go in the first half. And some motion up front. Going to add a little drama to this extra point. Eagles going to be backing up 5.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense, number 77. 5 yards. Retry the extra point.
A lot of penalties so far in this first
False
half.
start against the Eagles. Will move the ball back 5 yards.
False start on Barbers Hill there. And Castillo on for a 25-yard extra point to tie things up. And makes it look easy. Tied at 14.
Number 84, Anthony Castillo is good. Our new score was
But Barbers
6:01
Hill,
to play in the second
through the
quarter.
running game,
Deer Park 14,
get right back.
and Barbers Hill 14.
And they answer. Capped off by the 3-yard touchdown run by Keegan Morton. And once again, we are tied up, this time at 14.
Yeah, and I mean, sitting here kind of drawing it up, pen and paper, kind of the alignment and
The Deer Park High School class
the
of
look that they're giving them, and
1989's 35th reunion is
they're
coming
just
up
kind of
this
finding
October.
it might actually be more of a B-gap play happening right now with that inside zone, but got to make some sideline adjustments for that. They can bring the backside safety maybe a little bit lower, or you just reduce your outside linebacker to the trips receiver side. Could be one answer, but I know that's what they're over there. They're talking about right now on the sideline, getting on the whiteboard, showing alignment, showing formations, and it starts to really, really clue you in on kind of what they're trying to do. You just have to be careful that you're not getting clued in and jumping too conclusions, and then they pop you with some trickery, or they send one of those receivers flying down the field.
Yeah.
Deep ball.
Deer Park had no answer for the 1-2 punch of Gabe Howard and DJ Jordan on that drive. Short kick, fielded on the run by Schroeder. Looking for a little bit of a hole. Able to weave his way just shy of the 35. Going to be marked down about the 33 or so.
First down at 10, Deer Park.
So Deer Park, all 3 timeouts. Still plenty of time left in this first half. 5:55 to go. Already 21 combined points scored in this second quarter. Gamma is the running back. Starts this drive 1st and 10. Deer Park at their own 33. They go on the ground. Gamma finds a hole along the left side, keeps his feet moving. And a good tough 3-yard run.
Handoff goes to number 35, Christian Gamez. Tackle by number 8, Colton Edmonston.
Edmonston on the stop for the Eagles.
Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Gamez saw his first action last week against the Woodlands. You know you're a call-up when you don't make the game day roster like he did last week, but he is on this week's for sure. 2nd down and 7. Play action. Kieselhorst with all kinds of time. Now going to try and find some running room. Takes it out of bounds up ahead near the 45. Should be enough for the Deer Park first down.
You know, they sent Martinez there on like a, he was in motion, and then he basically wheeled up the sideline. And Kieselhorst is looking at him the whole time, and it was great coverage. The corner didn't, you know, he stayed on top of the route. If he just throttles down and it's more of a back shoulder kind of, the receiver's got to know this too. You know, hey, look, he's on top of me. If I just slam on the brakes right here, I'm wide open.
New set of downs, another play action. This time going to go into the flats. Pass complete.
To number 43, Trace Calhoun.
Freshman tight end Calhoun on the reception.
By number 23, Brayden
Just
Hampton.
shy of midfield.
Brings up 2nd down and 7.
It's a fine line. You might not give your receivers the the freedom to know when they can break off certain routes and not. That might have been one of those routes you just got to keep flying. There's no stopping.
Ball at Deer 49. Going to roll the pocket. Far side of the field. Kieselhorst looking downfield. Going to go deep on the wheel route and overthrew Martinez. Safety coming over the top of it late for Barbers Hill. Number 14, Ackerman.
14, Cole Ackerman provided the coverage for the Eagles. Brings up 3rd down and
Kieselhorst looking
7.
for the home run ball there. Incomplete.
Can't tell. The referee down on this sideline is, he was almost talking.
Holding.
Yeah.
Offense, number 74.
There it is.
10-yard penalty.
Another
2nd down.
penalty.
I didn't see the flag. I couldn't find it. Maybe it was blending in with the logo, but he was talking to Coach down here on the sideline, signaling hold. And I was like, oh, well, maybe he's giving us a, or giving the Deer defensive hold, and it's not the case. Offensive holding.
So that does give Deer Park another chance at 2nd down here. 2nd and 17.
Yeah, you take what they give you. You don't have to get a big chunk.
Kieselhorst, deep drop, has a lot of running room, sets his feet, fires deep downfield, working back to it. Setall had to play defender almost on that deep ball.
Did it for number 1, Colin Setall.
Bolden one-on-one with Setall deep downfield.
A little bit of Jay Cutler in him. He breaks the pocket. And goes straight to the deep ball. He had someone out there, but he also had a drag route coming right, you know, right about the sticks depth, that kind of 10, 15-yard depth. Never saw him, though. It was Saldana, I believe, running the drag.
Goes incomplete, and once again, Deer Park, they found themselves in this position a lot tonight. 3rd and long. Kieselhorst just going to dump it off for Gamez out of the backfield, but unable to haul it in, incomplete.
Intended for Christian Gamaz. Brings up 4th down and long.
Gamaz, he has those gloves, but they're tucked away in his pants.
What are you trying to say?
Just saying that he's got them. he was going the Joe Mixon route. Joe Mixon went gloveless. Maybe that's what inspired him. 4th and 17, and the punting unit back out for Deer Park. Hurtado has time, gets it away. Good punt.
Oh,
takes a hop at the 25 and a Deer Park roll all the way down inside the 15.
Great.
Mishandled it, and the ball's loose. Deer Park able to jump on it inside the 5.
I was about to be very upset with the referees down here missing an obvious just block in the back, shoved it, couldn't tell who it was, but he went tumbling face first, head over heels. But the rest of the coverage team did a great job getting all the way down there.
Off the hands of Dunham.
You got Saldana down there. You got Jaden Merrill. Great coverage right there. We talked about how special teams was going to be a point of emphasis for Coach Flynn and these Deer.
Yeah.
And so far, it looks like they've done a really nice job on their coverages.
Merrill recovers the muffed punt, and Deer Park sitting pretty, 1st and goal inside the 5. Gamez gets the call up the middle. Follows the block from a fullback. Gamez powers his way in. Deer Park back on top.
Good run by him, following his blocker. Kind of what I was talking about is a running back by trade and used to kind of the timing of these things. Just knowing, hey, this is where I'm going, this is where my blockers are going. Let them kind of slowly push the crowd back, and I'm going to churn my legs and do the rest of it.
Good run by the junior running back. Deer Park recaptures the lead. Hurtado's extra point nearly blocked, but he's able to boot it through. And Deer Park once again up by a touchdown, 21-14.
Left to play in the 2nd quarter. Deer Park 21 and Barbers Hill 14.
Boy, last week was kind of a wacky game as we watched it with turnovers and big plays and special teams errors, and we're kind of getting that round number 2 here tonight. Turnovers, big plays, special teams errors. It turned into points, 21-14 here in the 2nd.
Except you're a little bit more on the receiving side on the special teams errors right there, or the positive side of it that time. So, yeah, some up and down. I sat down for a second. I stood back up for a second. I'm not superstitious about it, but
a little stitious.
Just a little.
Deer Park taking advantage of the muffed punt, rather, by Barbers Hill. And Morton, once again, lined up deep, hovering about his own 13-yard line. You would think that they would try to kick away from him, but they have been booting in his direction. This one going to go over his head, though, and a good kick all the way into the end zone. He brought out for the touchback.
First down at 10,
Deer Park taking advantage of the little wind at the back.
Yeah, he gave it the full boot that time. Now, what are the chances they come out, trips into the boundary, and run inside zone? I would say very strong.
See what this Deer Park defense can adjust. After DJ Jordan and Gabe Howard burned him on the ground last drive.
Oh, trips to the field.
Cantu, 1st down and 10. They go on the ground. It's Howard. Short gain, but does find a good hole. Picks up about 6 on 1st down.
Yeah, so they're still doing the same, inside zone. They put the back on the opposite side of the quarterback and just handed it off, kind of same side downhill action. But it's the exact same thing that they're getting a lot of movement on.
Back to back, Howard again, breaking through the second level, and Howard once again off and running and takes it up near midfield. Deer Park still trying to adjust. Bryce Medley making the stop from that safety spot for the Deer Park defense.
For a Barbers Hill first down.
Howard, he wasn't even touched until he got into the secondary. Howard going to get a breather. But that just means DJ Jordan checks in. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball right at the midfield stripe. And Deer Park having some personnel issues, going to have to take a timeout. Officials talking about it. So no timeout, no penalty. 1st and 10. Hand it off. Jordan met and stopped and dropped in the backfield. Adam White got there.
Adam White on the stop for Deer Park.
So he just ran around the kick-out block on the zone look, and then basically came heel line from the block and blew it up. It was pretty good play, individual play by him right there. Still would think they're going to kind of go right back to that same spot, though. Yep.
This time, option look, keeper by Cantu, picks up what he could before sliding down.
Number 7,
they're going to mark him down where he started the slide, so only about 3 or 4 yards, sets up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Eagles.
3rd down and 7. Barbers Hill needing to get to the Deer Park 40-yard line to pick up the 1st down. Eagles making some personnel adjustments. Jordan stays in at running back. Deer Park brings blitz. They go screenplay, far side of the field, pass complete to Wampler, but he is not going to go anywhere. Brought down after almost no gain. Great job, even with the blitz against the screen.
Oh, yeah, and it's the same corners out there, Jackson. They're running it too, going at his side again, and you just watch him right here sit on it, beat his block.
Wow.
Get a hat on a hat. Great job by him. They're going for it.
4th and 5 from the Deer 45. Jordan, the running back. Hard count by Cantu. And Deer Park takes a timeout with a minute 21 left in the 1st half.
Timeout. Deer Park. 1st charge. Timeout.
Thank you, Deer Park.
Well, Barbers Hill won the toss, elected to defer, so they do get the 2nd half kickoff. Does that factor into the decision at all on whether you go for it on 4th down or not?
Sure. I mean, absolutely. You think, well, we're going to have another opportunity here. We're 1 touchdown down. Only a minute left on the clock, so there's not too much on the downside, really, for going for it, in my opinion, if I'm Barbers Hill. And I'm not always one of these people that's like, you know, analytics say go for it way more. I'm typically more for the punt, keep the field position, but this amount of time on the clock, 1 score down, and you're getting the ball back at the half, it's tips a little bit more in your favor. But I will tell you one thing, if I'm Deer Park's defense, I'm guessing we're going to get trips again, and I'm guessing we're going to get that inside zone look again, but what are you going to do on the zone side of it? Oh, no, they're going doubles here instead, so it's a little different look. I still wouldn't be surprised if they're going to do that.
Cantu to throw. Now steps up. Cantu takes off with it, stacked up, tries to fall forward, not going to get there, picks up a yard, but the Deer Park defense holds on 4th down.
Man, I'm really surprised they didn't just go back to the inside zone away from the receivers, because of just the success they were having with that one play alone. Man, I'm very surprised. And they went kind of straight drop right there and got some pressure and then rallied to the quarterback who tried to slip right up the field.
And now with 1:13 left, Deer Park does have 2 timeouts and good field position to start this drive.
See, they should have punted.
Hernandez in at running back. Kieselhorst under pressure. Escapes the pocket, fires downfield, in and out of the hands, just a step behind.
Pass from Kieselhorst incomplete.
Looking for
Sebastian.
Martinez
Trey Martinez.
down
was
near the
Trey
35.
Man,
Cale Dunham on the coverage for Barbers Hill.
that was a fastball
Brings up second down at 10.
from Kieselhorst. Man, that thing had some serious zip on it. You really wish pull that thing in if you're Martinez, I know. He did a great job extending that play and wasn't that far behind him.
No, there was almost a rusher free off his blind side. Good job to get away from and buy some time. 2nd and 10. Keep it on the ground. Hernandez trying to power into the teeth of that Eagles defense.
Goes to number 32, Jasper
Picks up a
Hernandez.
couple, but the clock will continue to run inside of a minute. Deer Park still with 2 timeouts.
Isaiah Burns on the tackle for the Eagles. Brings up 3rd down at 8.
Kieselhorst looking towards the sideline. Play clock at 13. About a 20-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. And just another straight handoff. Hernandez not going to find the first down, and
Hernandez on the carry once again.
it's going to force a Barbers Hill timeout with 14
Burns makes the tackle once
seconds to
again
go.
for
So the Eagles going to get one last crack.
A little surprised they didn't call the timeout.
Barbers Hill.
Because they've
Second
got,
charge, timeout.
yeah, they have 2 left. They were wanting to stop the clock and do something. They didn't stop the clock the previous play as well. 3rd down, clock running. But they're getting the ball back. Boot this thing a mile. Fine, Deer Park.
And you never know. Certainly happened on the last punt. Muffed by Cale Dunham. Deer Park was able to recover it inside the 5, so you can draw up those scripts on how how you think things will go.
Well, I'm not even thinking about the turnover aspect of it. I'm thinking of it just get it down there and good coverage like they had on that, right? Like great coverage getting down the field. Not allowing them to just kind of catch it and have some open room to run with it.
Second home game of the season here, Clyde Abshire Stadium. Deer Park trying to keep that home record unblemished. And so it'll actually be Keegan Morton who is back deep for Barbers Hill. You certainly don't want to give him a chance.
Hurtado on to punt for the Deer. Keegan Morton back deep to
Hurtado
receive
with the
for
wind at his
Eagles.
back. Has time, gets it away. High kick, angled towards the sideline. Takes a roll inside the 20. Morton thought about it. It's going to roll all the way into the end zone
Punt rolls into the end zone.
for the touchback with 5 seconds to go. So one final play here before halftime. And this is Deer Park offense that really struggled in that first half. Had a 3 and outs, and then here in the second frame, they've been able to find a little bit more consistency
First down at 10,
offensively.
Barbers Hill from their own 25.
Yeah, when you got to have the ball, you know, bounce your way here and there. And that goes a little bit more to preparation, right? And making those slight adjustments. But I expect them to come out the second half, maybe show a little bit different things and make the adjustments on defense to stop that inside zone away from the multiple receivers for sure.
Deer Park with 4 defenders standing at the 40-yard line. But they're just going to dump it off for Morton out of the backfield. Breaks to the first tackle, and Morton picks up the first down, but that will do it for the first half. An action-packed second quarter. Deer Park at the break leads it 21-14 at halftime. Eagles going to receive the second half kickoff. And after the first 24 minutes, Deer Park with the lead by a touchdown. Back with more here from Abshire Stadium. You're watching Deer Park football on the Deer Network.
Maddie Carriega, Lieutenant Avery Holbrook, and our Colonel, Ashley Blair. Our social officers are Executive Ariel Belt, Executive Mariana Clayton, Executive Isabel Marez, Vice President Jaden Willis, and President Brindley Buffalo. The Deer Escorts of the Week are Thalia Borjas and Sofia Flores. Spirit Girl of the Week is Chloe Salcedo. Enjoy as the Deer Escorts perform a kick routine to Gitana. The Deer Escorts are under the direction of Jen Morrow and Assistant Director Bethany Phelps. A special thanks to our diamond sponsors, Something to Wrestle, with Bruce Pritchard, Raising Cane's, USA DeBusk, and Texas Traditions Bank. Presenting the 2024 Deer Park High School Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Hope Barker, Aiden Crouch, Cody Gonzalez, and Tyler Lynn Hart. Director's Award, Christian Graham. Guard Member of the Week, Anna Ibarra. Section of the Week, the Trumpets. Tonight, for your halftime entertainment, the Deer Park Band will perform their 2024 program, From Thorns to Roses. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 Deer Park High School Marching Band and Deer Escorts. The band is under the direction of Gary Hebert, Paul Parkin, Alex Flores, and Keegan Crawford. The color guard director is Mackenzie Davidson. Executive Director of Fine Arts is Jason Dove. High school principals are Kirk Taylor, Yvette Powell, and John Wegman. Superintendent of Schools is Stephen Harold.
This is not just another film about shots. It's about 7 billion people who give their families and friends, with near 10 billion by 2050, and about every single one of us making energy to prosper. Because the absence of energy limits choices. Its presence creates them. Our world needs more and cleaner energy to meet the growing demand for ensuring the well-being of current and future generations. This, we know, is a huge global undertaking which requires collaboration with government, industries, and society. But we are up for the challenge because innovation and care are in our DNA. Taking on challenges to help the world progress is what we've done since the day we started. At Shell Deer Park, we are proud of our progress with manufacturing the energy products that fuel our world and are the solutions for our future. All thanks to our birthplace of Texas since 1929. We are proud to be part of this community's rich legacy, and our top priority continues to be to operate in a safe and environmentally sound manner for the health and well-being of our community, which includes our workers and all of you. We know we couldn't do our work without your support, so thank you, Deer Park. Let's make the future together.
Here come the Deer.
Welcome back to Clyde-Hampshire Stadium, everybody. Mason Pratt here alongside Shane Creel, getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Deer Park taking on the Eagles from Barbers Hill, and the Deer getting ready to start the second half with a 7-point lead, 21-14. All 21 points for the Deer coming in that second quarter. Total yardage, though, going in favor of the Eagles. 30 plays for Barbers Hill in that first half, 212 yards. 181 of those yards coming on the ground. Deer Park really struggled stopping the run late in that first half.
And I'm going to add something on the offensive side. 166 yards really came off of just a couple of kind of big plays. You had the double pass, you had the screen. Now they did miss some plays, but offensively, Deer Park's really got to get it going a little bit more because it's definitely been more Barbers Hill moving the ball. Credit to Deer Park's defense, really kind of making some plays when they had to. But I will tell you what, I would not be surprised if Barbers Hill comes back out and really starts to attack that inside zone like we saw them doing, having great success with it. Deer Park, on the other hand, has got to get the ball moving offensively.
Deer Park able to take advantage of a couple of first half turnovers by Barbers Hill, setting up short fields. Merrill recovered a muff punt by Barbers Hill, set up Deer Park at the Eagles 5. They were able to punch it in. Andre Jackson with an interception in that first half. First pick thrown by Zeke Cantu on the season. But Deer Park, like we said, they struggled stopping that 1-2 punch of Gabe Howard and DJ Jordan. Howard really exploded. 8 carries for 111 yards in that first half. And Eagles, once they found some success with Howard on the ground, they were going tempo, wanting to attack that Deer Park defense, and it was just a scenario, we're going to run this until you can stop it. And Deer Park really didn't have an answer for Howard in that first half.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, you know, their coaches and players executing. The coaches have found kind of a alignment that Deer Park is lining up to, funky, and they're figuring out a blocking scheme and really taking advantage of it. Now that's where the halftime adjustments come into play, and you like to see on Deer Park side make adjustments to those.
High short kick, fielded at the Eagle 25-yard line. Taken by the sophomore wide receiver, Anthony Bonnet.
Taken by number 89, Anthony Bonnet.
So Eagles back to work offensively. Won the coin toss, elected to defer to the second half. They find themselves down by a touchdown, starting this drive at their own 34. Cantu through the air in that first half, just 4 of 9 through the air for 31 yards and an interception. When you've got a run game clicking the way that the Eagles were in that first half, you don't have to do a whole lot as a quarterback. 1st and 10. And they go back on the ground. Howard met at the line, and good group tackling by the Deer right at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage.
I don't understand. I don't know why you would go into a bunch set like that and then try to run basically inside zone again out of bringing more guys to the party when you're having such good success in the first half, doing it kind of a different way. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
That's right. Sophomore linebacker Derek Wojtek and Anthony Lopez Rojas combining for Deer Park on that stop. Cantu to throw. Quick little hitch route. Pass complete to Morton. Picking up a block. And he is stood up by Chavez at the 40. Bounces off of it, though, before he's strung out and knocked out of bounds at the Eagle 42. So pickup of 7 there.
He just does not stop his legs. He starts going backwards, keeps the legs churning, and made some more yards.
Both touchdowns for the Eagles in that first half coming off runs by Keegan Morton. We saw that toughness on display. 3rd down and short. Cantu. Another quick little throw. Far side of the field. Ball goes incomplete. Looking for Morton again on the far side of the field.
Great job on the drop for the outside linebacker there by Deer Park. Who's that? Jaden, or was it DB? Safe Jaden Contreras there, but from between his drop and then getting his head back around, I think he was very close to being able to get an interception if he snaps his head back around quickly.
Good defensive possession by the Deer, forcing a 3 and out, not even a minute gone by. Deer Park wiping away.
That's a false start. Good Lord.
And whistles come in. That'll be backing up Barbers Hill. 5 more.
Flags down.
7 combined penalties in that first half. Certainly felt like more.
Number 89, 5 yards, 4th down.
It was the slowest false start I think I've ever seen. Both the wing and the 2 end guys on the line of scrimmage rocked back so slowly and finally called it.
Martinez back deep. Line drive kick. Martinez just going to let this one roll and getting dangerously close to that ball before hopping over. That ball going to be down at the Deer Park 25.
Oh, that's the one thing I know as a coach would get your blood boiling if you're telling them, okay, so you're not going to field the ball. There's no point to be anywhere near it at that point. If you're just not going to field it, get away from the ball.
Offense for Deer Park back to work, trying to find a little bit of more consistency. 16 rushes in that first half of the Deer for only 38 yards. So that running game, trying to find a little bit of momentum. Kieselhorst on the keeper off the option. About a 4-yard gain up ahead to the 29.
Good read by him. He's kind of playing off the end there, and he's crashing inside, unblocked, so he pulls it. Makes a nice little gain of 4 or 5 yards.
5 carries now for the quarterback for 14 yards on the ground.
I'd really like to see him run that same play and then send your receiver there to the outside linebacker who made the tackle and you kind of crack on him, then put Kieselhorst one-on-one with like a corner. That'd be really fun.
Second down and 6. Martinez going to line up in the backfield. All kinds of shuffling offensively. Going to force an early second half timeout by Deer Park.
Timeout. Deer Park. First charge. Timeout.
And Martinez, who we saw lining up in the backfield for that second down play, only one rush, had the game's first play. Went backwards for 5 yards. We haven't seen him get a carry since. Seen him targeted several times in the passing game, and Deer Park, they've just missed out on a couple big plays to the speedster deep downfield.
Yeah. Again, I think the yards they have gotten have been off of some kind of, you had the double pass, you had the screen, but they really missed on a couple opportunities to hit him. I think maybe just getting your feet set a little bit more. I think you mentioned at halftime, getting your feet set a little bit more. I agree. Had him deep down the right side of the field one time, and another time just coming across on a drag. Really want to hit him on those.
Second down and 6. Little RPO looking for Martinez on the wheel route. Caught and no, in and out of his hands at the 45.
Pass is incomplete.
Okay.
Intended for number 2, Trey
Not
Martinez.
saying this is exactly what happened, but maybe he heard some footsteps coming over with the safety, because that ball just seemed to hang in the air, and Barbers Hill really dodged a bullet right there, because quarterback has kind of got an option there, and
it looked like Dunham coming over the top might have influenced that catch. Third down at 6. 4 receivers in the formation. You have Martinez lined up on the slot to the near side. Hernandez, the running back. Kieselhorst buying time, looking downfield, loads up, fires along the far sideline, incomplete.
Kieselhorst is incomplete.
Set off.
Bounds. Brings up 4th down
Along the
and 6.
sideline, unable to even have a chance at that one. And Deer Park going to go with 3 and out.
Martinez is kind of kicking himself coming off the field. I know he's shaking his head a little beat up on it, dropping what would have been a nice first down catch there. But you got to be able to shake those things off, and you got to be able to not let it influence your very next play or the next time you're on the field.
Ooh, low snap in the dirt. Good job by Hurtado to go down and get that one. Kick is away, and that one sails into the Deer Park sideline.
The punt from
Official going to be walking
out of bounds.
well up the sideline before he marks this one out at the Barbers Hill 49.
The Eagles will operate first down and 10 from their own 49.
Well, both teams
yard
with
line.
possession so far to start this third quarter. Both teams go 3 and out. Barbers Hill, though, able to flip the field a little bit. Good starting field position here. Howard, the sophomore, back in at running back. See if there's another healthy dose of him here on this possession. Handed off to him along the left side. Met in the backfield, trying to reverse field, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Good job and good pursuit by this Deer Park defense.
Mixing it up a little bit with more of an outside zone look right there, but that was a great job of everybody's moving their feet. You got some fresh guys in there after halftime, but everybody's running with it, staying in their gap, shutting it down.
Anthony Lopez Rojas in on the stop. Second down and 10.
Oh, here's what
Brings up second down and 10.
I'm interested to see what they're doing here.
Howard now shifts to the right of Cantu. Instead, Cantu takes a deep drop, looking downfield, has all kinds of time, fires over the middle. Pass goes incomplete. Contact downfield, and a late flag comes in.
Flags on the play.
Ball had already hit the ground, but it looks like number 5, Bryce Medley, going to be called for the contact.
Very, very late flag, but it seemed kind of obvious. Bryce seemed to have definitely extended the arms a little bit and
Defense.
knocked him
Number
to the
22,
ground before the ball was even
15-yard
close to
penalty.
being there. So
First down.
And another 15-yard penalty going against Deer Park.
But it was a straight drop in a similar formation that they were having a lot of
After
success
enforcement of
running the
penalty
ball.
against
So
the Deer,
I
first
wouldn't
down
be
and 10
surprised they
Barbersville
get in the
from
same
Deer Park
formation
36-yard
and
line.
maybe they kind of return more to that running game that they had success with. Here it is.
And
Inside
they
zone.
do it. Option look, hand it off to Howard, breaks through the first line, breaks through another tackle, taking it into the secondary and down and rumbling to the Deer Park 24.
Allen on the carry for the Eagles.
Had it on the cutback
Finally
that
brought
time.
down by number 7,
Man.
Adam White.
12 yards for
But
Howard.
gains it up for another Barbers Hill first down.
Brought down finally by Adam White. Howard going to get subbed out. And TJ Jordan back on. First and 10 from the 24. Back on the ground, this time attacking the middle part of that Deer Park defense. Howard with a short gain.
Jordan on the carry up the middle. Derek Wotak makes the stop for Deer Park.
Sophomore linebacker Wojtek, he has been busy tonight.
Gain of 1 brings up second down and
And
9.
on the stop there.
Well, when you are basically the only linebacker in the box, it seems like on this formation they're running, you should be making a lot of tackles, or you're the only hope to be making a lot of tackles for sure.
Howard again brought down right near the line of
Jordan on the
scrimmage. Good
handoff
job by the
once again.
defensive end coming down and crashing the line.
Tackle made by number 88, Thomas Johnson for the Deer.
Another
No
short
gain on the
run.
play. Brings up third down and 10.
Eagles looking at a third down and long from the Deer Park 24. Cantu with a hard count. Goes deep, looking end zone for Morton. One-on-one, skies for it and makes the grab. Touchdown. Third touchdown tonight.
Number 2, Kagan Morton. The touchdown reception from
It was a great
quarterback
play by him. He really gets down the field. Quarterback makes a nice throw where it's going to be potentially a contested throw, but he goes, high points it, and just brings it down.
Morton one-on-one. Beats his man. And Eagles
Number
an
83
extra point
Dalton
away
Beck on the hole.
from once again tying things up. Jackson nearly got a hand on it, but Castillo able to boot it through with 7:23 to go in the third. Eagles
From Anthony
get the first
Castillo
points of the
is good.
second half, and we are
Our new score
knotted
was
again, this time at
7:23 left in the
21.
Third quarter. Deer Park 21 and Barbers Hill 21.
And if you're this Deer Park offense, you especially now, of course with the game tied, but you're going to need to find some consistency because the way the Eagles are moving the ball, it feels like you're going to need multiple more touchdowns.
Certainly, and you know, you don't ever want to kind of hang your hat on the saying or the, you know, well, we had him, we just had a drop, or we had him, we had a drop here, because that has happened a couple times. What we need to do is say who's going to step up, right? Who's going to step up? Who's going to make a play? We need to make a play. Really, ideally, get the running game going, because then that passing game is going to open up big time.
Yeah, just 42 yards rushing so far tonight for Deer Park on 17 carries. But Schroeder and Trey Martinez
Kicking
back
off for the
deep.
Eagles. Number 84, Anthony Castillo.
Castillo going to be kicking into the wind here. And looks like Schroeder going to get a chance from his own 22. Follows a block along the right side, now cuts back. And good
Kickoff
coverage
is taken
downfield by Barbers Hill.
Schroeder for the Deer. Tackle made by
Well,
number
pushing and
33,
shoving afterwards.
Nicholas Burgess.
Officials able to break everything up with just a whistle, no flag.
First down and 10, Deer Park.
Offense going to take over for the Deer at their own 32. Trying to find some sort of rhythm offensively. Gamez, who has a touchdown run tonight, lined up in the backfield. Low snap. Handed off to him, up the middle. And that low snap just disrupted everything, it looked like. And Gamez is going to be dropped for a loss back to about the 29, inside of the 30.
Christian Gamez.
Yeah, the low snap definitely kind of threw it off because
no gain on the play.
Martinez is in motion. It almost was like he didn't even carry out the rest of his fake, and handoff timing was bad.
Deer Park getting behind schedule here. Second down and 12. Kieselhorst loads up. Pass deep downfield. Caught. And the ball comes loose. Fielded on a hop. And Barbers Hill bringing it back the other way for a scoop and score. Touchdown, Barbers Hill. Braden Hamby. Right place, right time.
Kieselhorst was complete and then fumbled and picked up by number 23.
Well, I mean, it was a great play on the ball and a catch.
Touchdown.
But it looked like as he was turning his back to try and make a play, he really got kind of lit up square in the back and fumbled the ball. Turnovers are killer.
During the return, holding, return team number 6, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that keeps the touchdown off the board. Austin Farmer, the defensive end, called for a hold on the return.
Holding against the Eagles after the fumble recovery will take the touchdown off the board.
But Hamby had himself a scoop and score touchdown wiped away. Schroeder with the catch. And as he made that turn upfield,
got his hat directly on the ball from behind when he was turning.
Carson Hahn knocking that ball loose and forcing the fumble.
And then Hamby with the scoop. Man, it was a great play on the ball by him. Schroeder, I mean, he came to it. He beat the DB to the ball, made the catch.
Morton
finish
with the carry along the left side, trying to break through that second level. It does, breaks through another tackle. Morton off and running again inside the 10, stays on his feet, lunge into the end zone, and Morton finds pay dirt. Touchdown number 4.
Ooh. Referee was a little bit of collateral damage there on the near the pylon.
Official went down. A 31-yard touchdown run by Morton on the first play following the turnover.
He walked it off.
Wow. Toughing it out.
Runner was ruled out of bounds.
Oh, so no touchdown. They mark him out at about the 4. Barbers Hill thinks they've got a touchdown. The way he lunged for it, I certainly thought Morton had it, but
they're signaling touchdown now.
Touchdown for the Eagles.
There it is.
Okay. And now Coach Flynn wanting an explanation, not going to get one, so the touchdown going to stand. Third touchdown on the ground by Keegan Morton tonight. Extra point by Castillo splits the uprights.
Touchdown is good.
And 14 points here in the third for Barbers Hill. They retake the lead.
Barbers Hill 28.
Defense was there, stacked him up right at the 30, but just unable to bring him down.
Coach Flynn's out at the numbers trying to talk to line judge on his end. I know he's a little bit frustrated about kind of was he out, was he not out, because the guy who stood up and signaled touchdown after he got up was the guy that
got wiped out.
Yeah. I'm like, well, how are you letting him make the call? That's might be what's going on right now. He's getting a conference from white hat right now.
Well, all the momentum has swung back towards the Eagles here in the third quarter. Barbers Hill with their first lead since 7-0 back in the first quarter. Castillo kicks it away. Another short one taken by Deer Park. And I believe the freshman tied in on the return. Takes it past the 35. Trace Calhoun.
By number 43, Trace Calhoun for Deer Park.
Making the most of it. Certainly excited to get the ball, wasn't he?
6:18 to go, third quarter. Deer Park trying to shake off the turnover on that last drive. Hernandez, the running back. Martinez motions into the backfield. Kieselhorst eyes downfield, throws, skies for it, looking for Saldana deep downfield, but too tall and incomplete.
For number 3, Sebastian Saldana. Brings up second down at 10.
And I think this has been one of the biggest problems for Deer Park so far tonight offensively. It's just been being unable to stay on schedule, as a lot of coaches refer to. Always getting behind the sticks, second down and 10, third down and long. They've just been unable to keep those second and third downs manageable. Ball at the 36 here. Little play action option look. Pass goes incomplete. Looking for Calhoun in the flats, but it goes incomplete. And just like that, a 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things. One play, right? One play can kind of change the momentum. One person making a play when they have to. Right there, that's kind of the second one, almost down at the dirt on his flip out to the flat. That
yeah.
It's like you're not making it easy on the receiver either.
3rd down and 10. Kieselhorst, deep drop, looking downfield, airs it out deep, looking for Setall, one-on-one coverage, incomplete.
Intended for Talon Setall.
Dalen Smith, the corner in coverage.
Dalen Smith on the coverage for Barbers
Able
Hill.
to lock down Settle on that play. And Deer Park with a quick 3 and out. Dunham standing back at his own 30, waiting on the Hurtado punt. Barbers Hill brings pressure. Hurtado, though, good job to get that one away. Dunham makes the fair catch, having to go down to his knees, but secures it at the Eagles' 27. It looks like another flags on the field back at the Deer Park 33.
I think we're about to get on Sportsman, right? Well, sometime.
At some point.
During the return, holding, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So the hold on the return goes against Barbers Hill.
It was so late. Maybe it's just kind of the tradition of a little bit late flag throwing. They see it, but then the flag doesn't come out till a little bit later.
Hard to reach in there, I guess, and throw it.
Yeah, when it comes out that late, you tend to think it's something kind of extracurricular,
yeah,
way away from where the ball's at. But
after enforcement of the penalty,
so the ball pushed back inside.
First down at 10.
the Eagles' 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Barbers Hill coming up,
From their own
starting this drive at their own
17-yard line.
17. 5th penalty called on Barbers Hill tonight. 5 called on Deer Park as well. Deer Park just 1 for 9 on 3rd down tonight. Eagles with it. New set of downs, 1st and 10. And they go back on the ground. Howard stops, cuts back towards the middle of the field. He stood up. And a good job and good pursuit by the Deer Park defense. Going to drop Howard for a loss.
You said it, pursuit. I think that's another thing that was probably really harped on at halftime was swarming to the ball. Once you see that ball is handed off, man, we got to get multiple guys. I mean, we got to get everybody trying to get to the ball.
Marked down for a 1-yard loss officially, back to the 16. And they're going to go two backs in the backfield here. Morton gets the call on the left side. And certainly not the touchdown run that he had a few moments ago. This one much shorter, kept him in check.
On the carry for the Eagles. Anthony Lopez Rojas makes the stop for Deer Park.
His effort
Brings
level
up
is
third
just
down
so
and 9.
dadgum high. Every play, I mean, it's really something to model, you know, to show other guys, younger guys, because, you know, you can have all the talent, all the skill, all the speed in the world, but, you know, you got to have effort, you got to have focus, and his effort level is just so high.
Very impressive from just a sophomore as well. Morton running around here, 3rd down and long, airing out to him, just too tall for him. Goes incomplete. Lopez Rojas trying to
Rojas on the coverage for
stay
the Deer.
with
Brings
Morton.
up 4th down and 9.
Enough to
for
force
Barbers
a
Hill.
high pass, and Barbers Hill going to go 3 and out. Morton,
Some
4
good
touchdowns
defensive
tonight.
playing happening right now. You know, on both sides, defense has really come to play. Lopez Rojas there, I know the safety, I saw Coach kind of talking to him. He took an angle to kind of cut it off, but I'll tell you what, if that ball had dropped about 2 inches shorter, he might be running for a long time.
Hahn booting it away. Fair catch made by Martinez right at midfield. Hit right as he hauled it in. He made the fair catch signal. Still had
Fair
contact.
catch is taken by number 2, Trey Martinez. 1st down and 10, Deer Park from their own 49-yard
The
line.
Park fans wanted that kick-catch interference after the contact was made. Not going to get it, though.
Yeah, a little love tap, a little hug at the end, but not hurting anybody.
So ball spotted officially at the Deer Park 49. Deer Park down by a touchdown. 14 unanswered points by Barbers Hill here in the 3rd. Kieselhorst, 3 wideouts, far side of the field. Schroeder in motion. They roll the pocket for Kieselhorst and all kinds of whistles. This was just disjointed, even pre-snap. It sounded like there was a whistle going as Schroeder was in motion that kind of threw his rhythm off.
Yeah. Was someone call timeout? Is that what we're?
I mean, both teams heading towards the sideline.
Timeout. Timeout.
Oh, they
Barbers
called.
Hill called for the
Timeout
timeout.
called by Barbers Hill. The Deer Park High School class of 1989. Their 35th reunion is coming up this October. If you're a graduate from 1989, text reunion to 281.
There you go. Any
639
class of 89 folks out there?
to purchase tickets.
35th
Text reunion.
reunion coming up.
639
You with that group?
To purchase
Stop
tickets.
it. 0-2, man.
0-2. Okay.
You know what I would really like to see from Deer Park is I know, and this is something they like to do, is they really like to kind of formation you here and there. And that's not, you know, that's something you can still keep it pretty simple on all your play calls if you wanted to, not get too elaborate. But you formation someone, you can get them into a different look that you might really like and take advantage of it. So kind of mixing it up on those formations might be something to get this offense rolling as well. Saw him line up in trips just there and then motion.
And the way this offense has struggled, do you dip back into that bag of tricks that got you on the scoreboard in the first place?
Why not? I'm a big fan of having a couple of trick plays up your sleeve for sure. But, you know, like I said, going back to just kind of the more simple stuff, like just different formations, giving them different looks, seeing how they line up to it. And then once you observe that, okay, what plays can we get off of that work?
Schroeder in motion. Schroeder passes back to Kieselhorst, goes down and gets it, launches deep downfield, one-on-one, a lot of contacts, no flag on the play. Setall matched up with Dunham, and a late flag comes in. This one might be burned in Deer Park as Setall and Dunham had some contact as they were both coming up off the ground.
Well, you called it. It was a throwback pass. And nobody was really fooled on it. Still threw it. A lot of contact down there.
Coach Flynn pleading his case for the contact downfield to be called. And the boos from the Deer Park fans responded on the far side with applause from the Eagles fans.
Well, I didn't see, do we have a flag down here? Okay, maybe I'm seeing things. No, this is a flag on the field down here.
Oh yeah, back near the Deer Park 38. Officials still sorting it out here.
It looked like maybe. Whatever he's explained, Coach Flynn is still not the most thrilled with it.
No, doesn't seem pleased with the explanation.
A possible ineligible man downfield call as well, if I'm just kind of observing what.
The officials still talking about it at midfield.
A lot of conferencing and a lot of discussion on a lot of these calls.
Yeah.
Want to get it right. Want to definitely get it right. Today, though.
We have 2 fouls, both by the offense. Ineligible man downfield. Number 65. Penalty will be declined. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 1. That penalty will be enforced 15 yards.
Another 15-yard penalty going against Deer Park. Unsportsmanlike going against Setall as he and Dunham were tied up deep downfield.
Cannot let frustrations lead to major 15-yard. You're giving them yardage, just like in the first half.
Deer Park in a big hole. 2nd and 25. Kieselhorst looks downfield, has Setall open if he can get it to him. Pass is going to be incomplete. Dunham came crashing down. Kieselhorst tried to drop it in under that.
Cale Dunham provided the coverage for the Eagles.
Coverage underneath and over the top. Incomplete and a long 3rd down coming up.
I saw what you saw. You know, he was kind of open coming across the middle of the field there from our perspective. But, you know, from his perspective, you got a bunch of layers and different depths of defenders and how long he took kind of for it to develop and to throw it. It was
keeper by Kieselhorst. He's just going to stride ahead to get some yardage back. Going to be marked out near the 45.
Pushed down by number 31, Carson Hahn.
And a player down inside the Deer Park sideline. 23, Braden Hamby, who had the fumble recovery and would have had a scoop and score. He comes up with a little bit of a limp, but he will head towards the sideline. The Barbers Hill defense, rather, able to hold, aided by that personal foul penalty. And that's really where it burned, because dead ball, it was already.
Plays over.
Play was
lost
dead.
It down already, so
Hurtado
really hurt.
Going to try and pin the Eagles back deep. And this ball going to be blocked, scooped up by Barbers Hill inside the 30. Eagles had been getting close all night. And this time the dam finally breaks and Barbers Hill gets there.
44, Isaiah Burns, first down and 10 Eagles.
Just about everything going wrong for Deer Park here in the third.
Right through the middle.
And Hahn, his great defensive night continues. Had the forced fumble earlier. This time he gets the block punt.
Man, your personal protectors back there were not personally protecting at all. You got to put a helmet under his chin, make him pay for coming straight at you.
Once again, this defense, with their backs up against the end zone, starting this drive, Barbers Hill at the Deer 28. Howard in it, running back. Cantu, though, looks left, comes back right, looking for Morton. Incomplete. Aired it out too much. But he was one-on-one with Chavez in the end zone.
He got one earlier on him, you know. Just thinking he's going to come back. Chavez did a good job kind of like playing the outside leverage there. So when he slipped back underneath, the throw was actually going to be an outside throw, and so he had no chance at that.
3:49 to go, third quarter. Barbers Hill with a 28-21 lead. And they go back to what's been working well. Howard on the ground, breaking through tackles. Keeps his feet moving and takes defenders with him for a first down. Pile continues to move down to the Deer Park 17.
Goes to number 28, Dave Howard. Tackled by host Deer Park defenders.
11 tough yards on the ground for Howard.
And enough for a Barbers Hill first down.
You're gonna have to make a play again. Body language is very important. You don't want to be sitting here hanging your head, bummed out about one play.
Howard again, this time the right side. Stiff arms a man, trying to break to the outside, and Chavez sets the edge, and the corner makes the touchdown-saving tackle inside the 15.
Safety's definitely got to be flying up on that too, because what
tackle made by Ethan Chavez for Deer Park.
Outside linebacker is basically getting pinned in, and he's bouncing it outside the outside linebacker. As soon as you see a receiver going in to block on an outside linebacker, safety's got to be flying downhill to fill.
Second down, 7 to go. Ball at the Deer 14. Keep it on the ground. Stutter stepped at the line, met at the line, and brought down Adam White. Good tackle at the point of attack.
Handoff goes to Jordan.
Excellent job by him.
By number 7, Adam White.
You know, he's got a way of, when he makes tackles, it's kind of like a bull or a ram or something that's just getting his back straight, head down, and he's moving forward, and you're going backwards.
White with the stop, third down. No gain on the play there by DJ Jordan. He gets the call again. He's going to try and bounce it, cuts upfield, nothing doing there. Great three-play series there in the run game defensively for Deer Park.
Brody Bailey makes the
Sets up a fourth down, and the field goal unit going to come on to try and make this a two-possession game here late in the third.
Really good job by the defensive line, and Brody Bailey specifically, you know, you're praying for that as a D lineman. If you're working your gap and inside zone, outside zone, they chose to cut it back, and you're there to meet him. And he did a good job. He met him.
Ball on the far hash mark Going to be about a 31-yarder. Castillo. And his kick missed it wide left. So the score remains at 28-21. Deer Park defense set up with a short field, and they're able to defend it.
I know one thing, as an offensive player and a coach for the majority of the time I coached, it's just such a great relief to know, hey, look, our defense is playing really good. Now we want to be able to come out and be like, hey, look, we're going to take care of it from here. We're going to come out and make a statement. Talked about staying on schedule, kind of staying ahead of the sticks. I agree with that completely. Run the ball, early downs.
Gamez, the running back here on 1st and 10 for Deer Park. Little option look. Kieselhorst decides to keep it himself, falls forward.
Number 12, Kieselhorst on the quarterback.
Just a short gain, if anything, there on 1st down.
Yeah, that was a really good play right there by the outside linebacker, Edmonston.
Makes the tackle for Barbers.
He kind of made it muddy water for the read on Kieselhorst. So when Kieselhorst pulled the ball down, tried to run, he's kind of right there in between, made a great tackle by him.
Yeah, give credit to this Eagles defense. They've been forced to look at a lot of different things, but they've been playing discipline, and they have not given up many big plays tonight. 2nd and 9, Kieselhorst under pressure, going to be dropped down for the sack.
Oh, man. That is reason number one. I always hated getting in these tight bunch sets with receivers personally, is because you bring defenders pretty close to the box, and some of these linebacker types that might be all of a sudden getting a blitz call, and then you send all those receivers to go run routes, and guys coming off scot-free because they're kind of hidden.
Edmonston with the sack. All the way back at the 20-yard line now. And looks like an offensive lineman shaken up on the ground for Deer Park. 16 seconds to go, 3rd quarter.
So you get what I'm saying. They showed him a different look. They got a tight bunch receivers over on the left side there. And I like giving different looks, but like on that, when you're bringing linebackers and DBs closer to the box, if you're sending all those receivers out on like deeper routes that take time to develop, or your quarterback's not even looking that direction where the receivers were standing, then you can open yourself up to a blitz, which just happened, and nobody is prepared to pick them up.
Bustamante for Deer Park, able to get up and walk off. Kieselhorst tonight, though, just 6 of 20 through the air.
And 6 feels a little feels this way, feels a little high.
It does.
Because they're struggling.
The end of the 3rd quarter with our score. Barbers Hill.
So after 3, Barbers Hill comes back.
21.
14 points in the frame to retake the lead, and we head to the final 12 minutes here from Abshire Stadium. Barbers Hill 28, Deer Park 21. This one going to be decided here in the 4th. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Deer Park football on the Deer Network.
Because authentic ingredients make the summer bomb.
Getting ready to start the final 12 minutes here from Hampshire Stadium. Deer Park 28, or down rather, 28-21 to Barbers Hill. Looking at a 3rd and 18. Kieselhorst throws over the middle. Nobody even close. It goes incomplete. And the Deer Park offense goes backwards on that drive, and another punt coming up. They are now 1 for 11 on 3rd down.
Hard to win games that way on 3rd down conversions, you know. But my hope is, and something I'm excited about, is this team does have a knack for being able to stay in it, stay close. You looked at LaPorte that first game, and it was not pretty, but it was like they scrapped it up and they won. Their defense, you're leaning heavily on your defense right now.
Hurtado on to punt for the 10th time tonight.
Man alive, it's same thing, just okay.
Gets this one away, takes a hop. Takes another bit of a Deer Park roll, but another short field coming up for Barbers Hill. Going to start this drive at the Deer Park 43.
Punt is touched down by Deer Park. Flags on the play.
So we got running into the punter or roughing the punter for sure.
There is a flag back at the 1. Boy, roughing the kicker here would certainly bail out Deer Park, but looks like with the conversation.
First down.
Running into the kicker.
Oh.
Defense, number 3. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So just the lighter version.
Much lighter.
So the ball going to be pushed up ahead. The Deer 48 after the penalty. Deer Park all 21 points tonight, coming in that second quarter. But that third quarter was about as ugly offensively as it could be. Only 5 yards of offense in the third for Deer Park.
Well, I told you I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious, and so if they scored all them points in the second quarter, it's an odd and even thing this week. So you got the fourth quarter.
Going to try and keep Barbers Hill out of the end zone as well. Howard on his running back, fake the give to him, Cantu. Clean pocket, fires deep downfield. Morton has a step. Andre Jackson couldn't get a hand on it. And Morton with his 5th touchdown. This one goes 52 yards.
Number 2, Kagan Morton. The touchdown.
One-on-one, and he turned on the turbo. Just went past Jackson that time.
48 yards,
really
rather.
Pretty throw, too.
After that ball was spotted at the Deer Park 48. But yeah, like you said, Cantu with a clean pocket and a beautiful throw just past the outstretched arms of Andre Jackson. And Barbers Hill opens up the largest lead any team has had tonight. Castillo coming on for the extra point. It is good. 14-point advantage for the Eagles.
Left for the ball game. The Eagles 35, the Deer 21.
You got to think fourth quarter here, positive yards. I mean, sounds so obvious. I said it out loud and it sounds so obvious, but I mean, you have a couple of key plays, right? Like you have some bread and butter kind of key plays you really feel comfortable about, whether it's just some quick, you know, receiver screens, get them up the field for a gain of, 2 to 5, or handing the ball off, or whatever it is. You got a couple of good plays you probably feel really good about. So let's lean on some of those and hope that they open up maybe a shot down the field afterwards.
Tough sledding tonight offensively. 43 plays for just 171 yards for Deer Park, 4 yards per play. Meanwhile, Barbers Hill averaging over 7 yards per play. Keegan Morton, though, all 5 touchdowns for Barbers Hill. 6 catches on the night, 107 yards and a couple touchdowns. And 3 of his 4 rushes have gone for 6.
He's an absolute weapon. I have him starred here on my paper. He was certainly somebody that you got to be super excited if you're Barbers Hill throughout the season, the next season, the next season.
Yeah.
Man.
Just a sophomore.
Able to put some weight on it, get off the field.
Deer Park offense running out of opportunities here in the 4th. You're going to need to pile it on here in the final 11:32. They just cannot seem to get anything going consistently. Like we said, the running game has struggled. 42 yards on the ground as a team on 21 carries. Talked about Kieselhorst's struggles through the air, 6 of 21.
Trying to find a bright side. Right now, the bright side is the defense. You know, they're definitely kind of the bright side. Yeah, you had a trick play, but
Castillo with another short kick. Fair catch going to be made by Deer Park. And they're going to start this drive at their own 34-yard line.
Fair catch taken by number 24, Jack Paradise. First down at 10, Deer Park.
But not only just how ugly it's been offensively, the penalties have been a killer as well. 6 penalties on Deer Park, 89 yards, but about 3 or 4 different personal foul penalties.
you know, they run a very similar defense to what the Woodlands runs, and you got to think back to like, okay, so what were we having success with against the Woodlands? We were doing quite a bit of this motioning stuff. We were hitting them downhill. Some quick passes, but right here we're just kind of dropping back. Oh, nice.
Slant route. Setall going down to the turf for the reception up ahead to midfield. And maybe that could be something that kind of can snowball here. Deer Park now going with some tempo. 1st and 10. Ball right at the 50. 16-yard reception by Setall. Another quick throw. Out route. This time Setall again. Down to the 35. Another 15 yards just like that.
That will get your quarterback in a rhythm, have some confidence, and then speeding up the game too. Just kind of less time to think about it. Make your call, make your read. Don't stare them down.
Quick throw. Again, pass complete. Ball comes loose. That one going to be ruled incomplete. Bolden knocking that ball loose. Looking for Setall yet again for the 3rd straight time. Eagles defense locked down on him. Flynn. Very animated.
Man.
That's a one-way conversation, but
Easy.
2nd and 10.
Trip to Austin.
35-yard line. Kieselhorst fires up the seam. Looking downfield, incomplete, but a flag thrown on the back end of it. Looking for Paradise up the seam. He had a touchdown reception last week against the Woodlands in a similar looking play up the seam.
Looked like they were trying to sneak him out on something. Yeah, like you said, very similar. Maybe he got held or interfered with a little bit as the ball was in the air. Just
looked like number 21, Dom Pacina, in coverage for Barbers Hill, was matched up.
Yep.
Pass interference. Defense, number 44, 15-yard penalty.
Actually going to go against Burns.
I don't want to talk for Coach Flynn, but I'm thinking, he said, you better get your hanky out of your pocket because I feel like you missed one right beforehand on that out route that the corner sat on, and I mean, he put a hat on a hat and disrupted it.
Deer Park from the Barbers
Very
Hill
close
24-yard
to
line.
almost like a targeting type call.
Kiesel fakes the pitch, has to get rid of it quickly. Back shoulder throw for Paradise, incomplete.
Intended for Paradise.
Paradise.
So that's what I'm kind of talking about. Kieselhorst saw that back shoulder that time and just got rid of it. The receiver has to be able to feel that kind of pressure as well and know, hey, look, if I keep running into coverage, I know the ball's coming behind me. Throttle down or slam on the brakes one, and you got a completion right there. Getting on the same page is very important.
2nd and 10 from the 23. Cam has the running back. RPO dumps it off now for Trey Martinez, letting him try to go to work in open space, but good pursuit. And look at all the white jerseys around the ball there.
Man, I mean, defensively, that's just a clinic tape, as they say, for swarming to the ball.
3rd down and 12.
Martinez is going to be dropped for about a 2-yard loss on the reception there.
We're going back. They're going backwards again. Wrong direction.
3rd down and 12 from the 26. Schroeder in motion. Kieselhorst sends his feet, throws end zone. Martinez is open. Touchdown! Martinez gets beat, and that Kieselhorst-Martinez connection finally clicks, and it results in a Deer Park touchdown.
I really like it because he had a time to make that throw and for that play to develop kind of a levels or flood concept where you've got different levels of routes kind of going to the same side of the field. And you got to know he's thinking, I want the deeper one every single time. That time he got it.
Hurtado coming on for the extra point. Trying to make it a 7-point game again, and he boots it through.
And the point after touchdown from Hurtado was good. Our new score with 9:49.
Martinez with the touchdown reception. Gets behind the defense, and Deer Park gets right back in it with 9:49 to go here in the 4th. 35-28.
But hey, I really like the tempo stuff they did there. They just kind of went in your basic 2-minute look, doubles, and did some quick passes for Kieselhorst to get rid of the ball and kind of get into a rhythm, make some completions. And then right here, like I said, he's got multiple levels. He finds the deep route in the end zone, got behind the corner and the safety on that side.
Martinez with his 2nd touchdown reception tonight. He's on the receiving end of that double pass that got Deer Park on the board.
And I know the feeling right there. You're behind everybody. You're in the end zone, and the ball's hanging in the air. It's almost a fair catch type of deal, waiting on it to get there.
Well, the Deer Park offense needed something, and they responded. Got off to a hot start, back-to-back first down receptions by Setall, got them going. Got aided by the pass interference. Kickoff here. Far side of the field, breaking through tackles past the 30 and up near the 35. Good return there by Carter. And now can the Deer Park defense do what they have been doing so well tonight? Can they force another Barbers Hill punt?
You know, one thing I don't like seeing on special teams is when my kicker's the guy having to make the tackle.
From their own 34-yard line.
Don't like that. But again, like I said, the shining spot so far, and I know they've given up points, and Jackson got beat on the one-on-one last time, but the defense has made quite a few stops. Need them to come up big and make a stop here as well.
Yeah, and we talked about the struggles that Deer Park had on 3rd down. Barbers Hill not much better. 1 for 7 on 3rd down, 0 for 2 on 4th downs. Barbers Hill start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 34. Howard gets the call. He's wrapped up by Johnson right at the line of scrimmage. Gets thrown forward ahead for about 3. But you got to believe Eagles going to rely heavily on Howard here down the stretch.
2nd down and 7.
15 carries now for Howard and 140 yards.
was a nice job by him on the back side of that inside zone play of kind of beating his block and working his way down the line of scrimmage for the hesitation and staying with it.
Second down and 7. Option look, keeper by Cantu this time, and he's got lots of running room. Picks up the first down before sliding down inside Deer Park territory at the 49.
Now, I don't know if he has this opportunity on every play. They tell him you can kind of pull it if you see something, but right there, they walked up. I believe that was the safety maybe walking up and showing blitz, or yeah, and here it is. Oh, outside linebacker goes on a stunt, and oh no. So your defensive end on that stunt right there, he's got to stay outside leverage, and he kind of gets sucked inside too, and the quarterback pulls it.
New set of downs for the Eagles inside Deer Park territory. Back on the ground for Howard. Makes a cut near the line of scrimmage. Stacked up. Just a 1-yard gain. And
Handoff goes to
it
Howard.
has been group tackling here in the second half that has really helped this Deer Park defense on the ground. And certainly not giving away the big chunks that they were at the end of the first half with Howard.
Second down and 9.
I will tell you, when he, the play before when he pulled it and ran for 15 yards or whatever that was, it does slow up your backside pursuit, which
7:48 to go and counting. Fourth quarter. Barbers Hill with a 35-28 lead. Little counter look, handed off to Howard. Stacked up at the line. Great job by the Deer Park defense. In fact, going to drop him for a loss.
Once again,
now, one thing I'm yelling to my guys if I'm Deer Park is it's getting a little bit chippy, some kind of blocking as after the whistle's happening.
Yeah.
Do not want to get one of those 15-yarders at a crucial part of the game like this, for sure. Stepping on this.
Third down, 10 to go. Clock running coming up on 7 minutes to play. Deer Park down by a touchdown, trying to get a stop. Howard, the running back. Cantu with 4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Cantu looks right, comes back and nearly picked off, but it goes incomplete. Great read by the sophomore linebacker. Wojtek nearly undercut that one.
You took the words out of my mouth. That was a great read by him. He dropped right there with the back and then worked out kind of as a two-dropper, as we would call him, and he's underneath the route, gets a mid on the ball right there. Man, he gets 2 on there. He might be running for a little while.
Great stand by the defense. Hahn on the punt. We've already seen 1 snap go over his head tonight. Martinez back at his own 15. Fair catch going to be made at the 16.
Fair catch taken by number 2, Trey Martinez.
Well, the offense has got to feel good after that last drive. See if they can maintain that momentum.
Yeah, I loved it. Figuring out, okay, so what is going to kind of tip the scale in our favor? What's going to give us a little bit of that momentum? Last drive, we saw it seemed to be tempo in their quick game passing. So
down in 10
I would love to see,
from their own
from a Deer Park perspective, them do that again.
Yeah, they went 6 plays, 66 yards, minute 45 off the clock. See if that's the emphasis here. 6:51 to go in the ball game. Down by a touchdown. Keep it on the ground, though. Gamez with a good hole. Powers his way, and he muscles near the first down marker.
Christian Gamez.
That's a little bit more of kind of the running that we saw against the Woodlands, where they bring that jet motion across the formation and then hand that thing off downhill. Get guys' eye control kind of messed up a little bit, sliding a little bit out of their normal spots.
Gamez picks up 11. 1st and 10. Paradise in motion. Back on the ground, Gamez along the left side, trying to stutter step and find his way. A small hole for a gain of 2.
Tackle made by number 44, Isaiah Burns.
So one of the things I really like to watch on this offense is Zach Paradise. He's a fullback type guy that they use blocking. He blocks defensive ends, outside linebackers. when they bring him across what we used to call wham, and they bring him back across the formation to block the outside linebacker, he's putting a hurt on some of those guys.
He's a horse looking for the double move. Nothing there. Now he's going to step up and take off with it. Trying to pick up a block. Stutter steps and slows down near the 35. Brought down at the 33 officially. So it'll be 3rd down and short. So this is something that Deer Park has not been able to do, like we talked about consistently. They stay on schedule. Looking at a 3rd and short.
Hey, 3rd and short's a lot more on schedule than 3rd and 15.
Absolutely.
3rd and 18.
Done their job so far on 1st and 2nd down. Can they convert on 3rd and 3? Kieselhorst looks left, slant route, far side of the field, pass complete up ahead to the 40. Another Deer Park 1st down.
Pass from Kieselhorst is complete.
Pass complete to Schroeder,
To number 8.
up ahead to the 41. So a pickup of 8.
And on Schroeder.
Oh, here we go.
1st down and 10, Deer Park.
New set of downs for the Deer at their own 41. Kieselhorst again has time. Looking deep downfield again. Passes Sky for Paradise with the catch, and he's going to run in. Touchdown, Deer Park.
Oh, man. I am not going to lie. I almost said,
the
what
way you
are you
draw it
doing?
up, right?
Why are you throwing it right there? He had a safety valve right in the middle of the field he could have dumped it off to, and it looked like a lot of guys, you know, there was definitely a safety and a corner all right there, but was that my guy Paradise, right?
It was.
Man.
59 yards.
Goes up and gets the ball, and I think it was just kind of like they weren't just right between the two guys. And
the
love to see
cornerback, Bolden, was underneath, lost track of him. Dunham was unable to come over the top. Line drive kick. Wasn't pretty, but it's through the uprights. And just like that, we are tied once again, this time at 35.
With 4:45.
This is almost like backyard football.
Man.
Kieselhorst just
Deer
pointing
Park 35.
directions for guys to go, and Paradise skies for it.
I mean, he's just such an all-round back that, you know, they use him a lot in the passing game, and you don't realize how good of hands he has sometimes because of how much of blocking he's always doing. But, man, last week he had a nice seam route touchdown, and this week right there, I mean, he's going up high pointing that like a, you know, #1 receiver.
Yeah, the sophomore listed as a tight end, but like we said, he can just kind of do it all. Lines up just about everywhere. Kind of like reminds me of Chris Cooley a little bit for the Redskins back in the day, kind of used as a H-back tight end type of player. Gets the touchdown there and knotted at 35. Deer Park, they go 5 plays, 84 yards, just over 2 minutes off the clock. High kick, fielded by Morton, and they're saying that he signaled for the fair catch, so he was off and running, but official's going to blow him dead back at about the 27.
Fair catch called for by number 2, Kagan Morton. 1st down and 10, Barbers Hill.
Second time I almost ripped my headset off, stepping on it, trying to stand up, getting excited. I love that. And when you got a guy like that, like you're saying, Chris Cooley type, well-rounded athlete, they find places to put him on the field, that's for sure. Uh-oh. Back to a little bread and butter here for.
We'll try and spread out this defense and let Gabe Howard go back to work. Got to believe they go to him on 1st down, breaking through first contact. Howard picks up 10.
Handoff goes with number 28, Gabe Howard.
Right back to it.
Again,
De La Cruz makes the tackle.
Thinking he's got to read that and think Phil a little bit faster. I know it's not all him; he's a safety, but your box is basically 5 guys. Now they are squeezing the outside linebackers in a little bit tighter to kind of give a little bit more help on the run play. But when it's hitting inside like that, your safety that's standing there.
Howard again stops in the backfield, patiently waits for something to develop. Short run up ahead to the 40.
Goes to Howard. He's tackle by a host of Deer Park defenders at the line of scrimmage.
And these defensive linemen working hard tonight.
He does manage to gain 2. Brings up 2nd down and 8.
Okay, so like right here, Lopez Rojas is the backside safety. And so he's got to be thinking, if we get a similar look where it's a handoff, like it is, you're filling.
There you go. Let those feet keep churning for Howard. And he does a good job to power his way up for about a 3, near 4-yard carry. Sets up a big 3rd down inside of 3.5 minutes to go. Eagles need to get to their own 48. Carries on the night for Gabe Howard. Doesn't get number 21. Pass is going to be complete into Deer Park territory. Takes a big hit. The pass is going to be complete to number 15. Nick Thompson, the senior wideout, comes up clutch on 3rd down.
Tackle made by Anthony Lopez Rojas, but a gain of 7 and a Barbers Hill 1st down.
Just a quick little curl route. Clock continues to run, coming up on 2.5 to go. Back on the ground, Howard stops, now tries to bounce it, breaks through the tackle. Good job by Chavez coming in from that cornerback spot and dropping Howard. 3-yard loss back to the midfield stripe.
Correction tackle made in the backfield, loss of 3. Brings up 2nd down at 13.
Clock running with 2 minutes to go. And 2. 2nd down and 13. Hand it off. This time Morton gets the call. He's got a lead block and he's got running room. Takes up the 1st down and bumped out of bounds.
Kagan Morton on the carry.
Down to the Deer Park 32. Just like that. Picked up all that yardage in the blink of an eye.
Entry timeout.
Deer Park player shaken up.
A little bit different look. They did it as a split back and kind of did a zone lead with handing the ball off to Morton, and he has got a different type of gear when he gets to that outside edge.
Yeah, we talked about the toughness that he's shown. That was the speed on display right there. Minute 48 to go. Barbers Hill with 2 timeouts. Deer Park with 2 timeouts. Tied at 35. Morton picking up 17 on that last play. I believe that's number 92, Braden Guerra, the one shaken up for Deer Park, walking towards the sideline. The ball at the Deer Park 33. 1st down and 10 for Barbers Hill. Howard going to get a breather as DJ Jordan comes in to spell him. Morton going to be lined up, split out, top of your screen. Cantu takes the snap, handed off to Jordan. Stutter steps at the line, now reverses field and falls forward for a short gain down to about the 31. Clock continues to run.
Tackle made by Jaden Contreras.
Contreras coming in from that safety position for Deer Park, bringing down Jordan after the short run. Deer Park trying to keep these defensive linemen fresh. They've been in the trenches tonight. 2nd down and 8. Back on the ground. Straight up ahead.
That's how you feel right there.
Handoff up the middle.
Like number 5.
Yeah.
To Jordan.
Medley, that other safety, comes roaring down and brings down Howard after another short gain. 3rd down and 6.
3rd down and 5.
Barbers Hill, 2 for 9 on third down tonight, but 1 for 1 on this drive. Cantu takes the snap, looks left. Pocket collapsing, he's going to take off with it, falls forward, dives forward for the first down to the 22. Clock stops momentarily with 40 seconds to go.
He's tackled by Bryce Medley, but a pickup of 7 yards and a Barbers Hill first down.
Cantu needed 6, picked up 7. Clock continues to run, 30 seconds to go. Cantu looking to throw. Has all kinds of time. Steps on the pocket, but going to be dropped at the 20. Barbers Hill going to take a timeout with 17 seconds left.
On the run up the middle.
And Cantu a little slow to get up following the tackle there.
Timeout.
Timeout called Barbers Hill.
Barbers Hill. Second charge, timeout.
17 seconds to go. Barbers Hill down to just 1 timeout. Cantu credited with a 2-yard gain.
A couple of guys you're really kind of keying on where are they lined up. Morton is obviously one of those guys. You got to kind of pay attention to where he's lined up. And then, you know, you got Howard and Jordan as well, backs that have been doing really nicely out of the backfield because they do have that 1 timeout left. So
I don't think we've seen a package yet where all 3 are on the field.
So it's going to be Gabe Howard split out.
And an empty backfield look on second down. See if maybe somebody motions in. Howard line up in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Cantu, little quarterback draw up the middle. Takes a shot down to the 15. Clock continues to run. Looks like
Cantu on the quarterback keeper.
maybe Barbers Hill just going to let these final seconds tick away and try for the game-winning field goal. And that is what the Eagles and Coach Amsek plan on doing. So down to the 16. Hello.
Timeout. Barbers Hill. That's their 3rd and final timeout.
It's a ball on the right hash. Saw Castillo miss, I believe, a 32-yarder earlier this game. Two seconds left. It's either overtime.
Well, it looks like we're probably going to have,
or maybe a Barbers Hill win if they can kick it through.
about a 32-yarder here. More.
This time from the right hash. He missed from the left hash earlier.
Number 84, Anthony Castillo, on to attempt a field
This
goal.
one going to be from the 32-yard line. 32-yard field goal for a chance to win.
Barbers Hill.
Castillo trying to win it for the Eagles. Good snap, gets it down. It's going to be blocked! Scooped up by Deer Park, still trying to find it, but it's going to roll out of bounds, and we are headed to overtime.
We are headed to overtime.
I believe that was old Andre Jackson again coming off. Was that him coming off the edge? Whoever it was, you know they're going to get their very best effort here at the very end of the game. And he completely laid out and blocked that thing.
Special teams coming up clutch on regulation's final play.
Yep.
And Andre Jackson, he'd been getting close all night. This time, he got there.
Great angle, great timing, full layout. Figuring out a way to get it done.
Deer Park headed to overtime for the first time since 2013.
2013.
Last time Deer Park played an overtime game, they actually played 2 that year. Beat Clear Lake in overtime, lost to Spring in overtime. They have not played an OT game since.
Kind of surprised me. I'm looking over at you like I thought you just
You didn't believe me. That's what that looked.
Yeah.
Well, I can only say that because I've been doing games since 2014, and I don't think that I have ever called an overtime game. So have to go back to before. And there, once again, Andre Jackson with the block. And that is why we are here in overtime. Boy, we talked about how much that offense for Deer Park was struggling in the third quarter, just 5 yards of offense in the third. Now they went into the fourth with 171 yards. They've got 310 now. They put up yards in bunches there in the fourth when they needed it most.
It's a game of momentum, and right now, coming off of that block kick, really like to see your offense come out and get rolling for sure if you're Deer Park. I thought the tempo was pretty nice when they switched to that. Kind of a mix of motioning and
Deer
downhill.
Park wins the toss and elects defense.
Deer Park going to be choosing to go on defense first.
Barbers Hill will start the overtime period on offense. Ball will be placed at the 25-yard line.
So the Barbers Hill offense is going to start here in overtime number 1 at the 25. And the Deer Park defense got to be feeling pretty good about how they were able to kind of buckle down on that Eagles running game in the second half.
Yeah, I definitely understand the decision here to put your defense out there first and kind of the old defer method. They did just come off the field, so something else to think about, how much juice they got. They're sprinting to the line of scrimmage right here, first play.
And Morton from the Wildcat takes the snap. Design keeper by Morton. He's met at the line, and Deer Park defense there to bring him down for nothing. Met right at the line of scrimmage.
A little slow getting up by Morton, but you got to know, you're putting him in the backfield like that. Man, all ears are pricked, and everybody's ready to get on the ball when he's standing back there taking the snap for sure.
Johnson, he's had a heck of a game along the defensive line for Deer Park, making the stop on Morton there. Second down and 10. Cantu comes on, straight handoff for Howard. Hesitates for a moment. Not a whole lot there as he is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, it took him about 3.5 quarters really to kind of seem to get on the right page on that formation and running the inside zone, but doing a great job here defensively.
Third down and 10. Got to know where Morton is here on this play. Looks like he might be lining up in the backfield. Play clock at 10. Cantu from the shotgun. Howard to his left, Morton to his right. Now Morton motions out. Look that way, he's trying to set up a screen. Pass complete to Morton, or Howard rather, but he's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Great heads up play along the defensive line.
Yep, you know something's up when you're not getting much resistance. And he got his head on a swivel, found the back, and looked like a steer roping right there by the ankles. Whew.
Braden Guerra, who had just walked off a few plays ago, making the stop on Howard there. 4th down and 10. 3 wideouts, near side of the field. Cantu has time, steps up, has running room inside the 20, inside the 15, and on 4th down and 10, Cantu comes up clutch and picks up the Eagles' first down.
Timeout for injury on the field.
Cantu looked like a little bit of a cramp that he's trying to stretch out.
Yeah, and he's really just kind of refusing to give up. I mean, he's just a great effort play right there.
I see a little blood on that right elbow as well. He's put his body on the line tonight for sure.
You got all your DBs back in coverage, trying to make sure they're not giving up a home run ball, and then kind of lose a little bit of contain on the right side. And, yep, cramping up his left calf a little bit. Long game.
Well, he will have to come out for this first down play. Cantu, 11 carries for 50 yards, but they have been timely yards. Comes up big there on 4th down and 10.
As we resume play here in overtime.
Picked up 13.
First down and 10 for Barbers Hill.
I'm sure they're going to take a timeout and maybe just get him back in the game.
Yeah, Coach Amsack looked like he was over there with the official. Coach Flynn and the coaching staff want the play clock to be running because Barbers Hill still on the sideline over there, and it is running now. But no Cantu. It'll be Bryson Wells, the sophomore, coming in here for first down. DJ Jordan, the running back. Hand it to Jordan. Falls forward ahead down to the 10. And after one play, Cantu ready to come back out.
Tackle made by number 93, Brody Bailey.
First series here in overtime.
Second down at 8.
Deer Park won the toss, elected to go on defense first, so trying to see what they will need in their half of overtime. Second down and 8. Morton lined up in the backfield. Cantu looks left, has all kinds of time, floats one to the end zone, skies for it. Touchdown, Morton, touchdown.
It was a perfect throw. I mean, he was bracketed. He had a guy underneath, guy over the top, and I mean, just a perfect throw by Cantu right there.
Every touchdown tonight for Barbers Hill going to the sophomore.
And they brought him out of the backfield and then kind of a deep out route, and
Adam White nearly able to undercut that ball. Keegan Morton with 7 catches, 117 yards tonight, 3 touchdowns through the air. And Castillo's extra point up and good. He's also added 6 carries, 62 yards, and 3 more touchdowns on the ground.
Deer Park will now
42-35. Deer Park will need 7 to keep this going. 8 to win it.
The 4th down play was just so clutch by Cantu and just going for it. He scrambles and it's a race almost to the sideline and the sticks, and he barely gets it. Man, it's great effort play by him. Really impressive.
First down and 10. Deer Park, Kieselhorst in the offense trying to respond. Loads up, fires over the seam. Caught! One play! Touchdown!
He had him from the get-go. I mean, from the snap, the safety was not coming over, and he's just running straight up the hash. And I'm like, man, throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it. Gets it there just in the nick of time.
Talon Setall, one play, 25 yards. Great concentration by Setall as that defender was coming underneath. Hurtado coming on for the extra point. Kick is on the way, splits the uprights, and we are headed to overtime number 2.
Well, we talked about Cantu making a really pretty throw. That was just as pretty. I mean, great throw, straight up the hash, over the safety coming over. Great catch as well.
And as he was letting that ball loose, there was a split second in my mind that I thought the safety might have been baiting that throw because he was breaking on it, but just dropped it in over the head. And Setall with the touchdown catch. Hurtado with the extra point. Heading to double overtime, and now Deer Park offense will start things off here. Also looks like we're going to be flipping ends of the field.
For the second overtime period, the teams will change into the fields. And for the second overtime period, Deer Park will start on offense.
My goodness, what a game.
You ain't lying. That was, it's been exciting all night, man. That's, as a spectator, it's one of the most enjoyable things to have a really good, well-contested game to watch.
Deer Park had to battle back, down 14 in the fourth quarter to force overtime, had to block a field goal as time expired. Overtime number 2 starts with Kieselhorst and the Deer Park offense. Gamez the running back. Setall in motion. Gamez gets the call. One-on-one with the defender. Bounces off of him. Gets a push up front down to the 15. Should be enough for another Deer Park first down.
He picks up 11 yards, and he picks up a Deer Park first down.
Down to the 14.
I tell you what, one of the really nice things I like about watching him run the ball as the weeks have progressed is just his physicality has improved each week, where he's kind of going downhill, taking some hits, but making multiple guys make the tackle as well.
Paradise leading the way for Gamez here on 1st and 10. A good job by the Eagles defense to blow that one up before he was able to get going. Gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10.
Trey Clark makes the tackle for Barbers Hill. Brings up 2nd down at 10.
Deer Park to the line with plenty of time on the play clock. Gamez stays in at running back. Fake the give to him. Now fires a fastball towards the end zone, looking for the slant route, but incomplete.
Schroeder.
Like number 8, Schroeder, the intended target there. And now 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down at 10.
Hernandez comes on to give Gamez a breather. Also the big target, LaShawn Panuco checks in. 3rd down and 10, Kieselhorst takes the snap from the shotgun, scans, backpedaling, throws off his back foot, incomplete, and a flag thrown in the end zone.
Really bailed him out because it's kind of a back, like, not the best throw, and I know, you know, he fell down, but even if he was standing up, I don't know if he'd been able to get to that ball.
He's looking for Schroeder in the end zone.
Holding. Defense, number 3.
Call goes against Dunham, the safety.
The penalty against the Eagles will
Results in an automatic first down. And the ball spotted.
It's like they're bringing in a little bit of one of their bigger packages.
Paradise had a touchdown reception. He stays in the backfield this time. Heavy set to the left. Give it to Games. Follows his blocks. Punishes his way into the end zone. No signal yet. No, they're going to mark him down just shy.
Number 35, Christian Games.
Student section down there near the goal line thought he had made it in, but the official quick to come in and rule Games short.
He had a nice wave to follow, and I thought maybe if he got his pad level a little bit lower, he could have got that last 6 inches.
That's their final
But
timeout.
great job by
for the
Barbers Hill
overtime
making
period.
a goal line stand right there and forcing him back.
So Barbers Hill elects to use their lone timeout here in overtime number 2 on defense. Deer Park going to have essentially 3 shots if they want it from inside the 1. Of course, you have the length of Kieselhorst if you want to go under center.
No.
Of course, we saw them try that, back-to-back plays against LaPorte, or was that last week against the Woodlands? They went back-to-back quarterback sneaks and didn't get a touchdown in a similar situation.
I believe that was LaPorte. I don't know. A lot happens when you start going under center when you're normally in the shotgun. You also don't have a ton of momentum for the back. In that case, it'd be the quarterback trying to maybe just reach across the goal line, but it's not just across the goal line necessarily, because I'd rather hand it off to somebody else that's got a little bit more momentum to push it. Oh, he's going to do it. Quick snap.
Kieselhorst goes under center quick and gets the touchdown.
That's one way to do it for sure. I like that you saw him stand back like he's in the shotgun, and then they're late lining up. He sprinted up, snapped the ball, and just helped
up the middle.
Go right behind the center.
Kieselhorst with a touchdown run. And the offense going to go for 2. Ball spotted at the 3. Deer Park 48-42. Looking for the 2-point conversion. Looks like they're going to elect to put it in between the left hash in the middle of the field.
So that's what Coach Flynn was trying to get them to spot the ball where he wanted it.
Hernandez, the running back. Schroeder goes in motion. They're going to roll the pocket for Kieselhorst. Little pick play. Complete. Schroeder. 2-point conversion is good.
Great execution. Really good hands by Schroeder right there, reaching out and snatching that thing.
Number 8, Andon Schroeder on the reception from quarterback Landon Kieselhorst.
Finding out a way to get it done. And now you're leaning on your defense, who's played pretty well, I would say, most of this game. That's where you really want to be if you're Deer Park. But man, you've got to be keying on a couple guys big time. Morton, I have got a beat on where he's lined up every single time. He's in the backfield, even if he's not getting it right off the back. You got to think some sort of wheel route, something where he's going into a route concept, because they've done that multiple times, and here he is again in the backfield. But then again, you still got the running backs.
Yeah, Howard going to be lining up to his left. Option look, handoff goes to Howard. Met at the line of scrimmage and keeps those feet moving. Boy, so impressive this late in the ball game to still be able to fall forward and use the power that he has. Because the initial point of contact was right at the line of scrimmage, even to pick up a long 2, maybe 3 there on first down. So impressive from Gabe Howard tonight. 25 carries for the sophomore running back. Boy, Barbers Hill, they got some young weapons. 2nd and 7. The other sophomore, Morton, gets the call here on 2nd down, trying to break through that first wave, and not going to do so. Another short gain. Deer Park defense able to string out Morton. And Morton a little slow to get up.
Timeout on the field.
I think he might be a little gassed. I mean, he has given it every ounce this entire game.
Well, he's going to have to, like Cantu, come out for a play. And Barbers Hill, they don't have the option to take a timeout to
Right.
give him that extra time if needed.
Big third down. Obviously, you got 2.
Barbers Hill needs a touchdown and the 2-point conversion to keep overtime going here. Morton, like you said, just probably gassed at this point. He's got 7 catches tonight. No other receiver for Barbers Hill has more than 1 reception. 3rd down and 6. 2-down territory for the Eagles. Howard in at running back. 4 wide receiver set, 2 to each side. Cantu looking right. Has time. Just going to dump it off for Howard, who has lots of running room. Taking it down inside the 15. Jump cut. And picks up the first down.
28 gave Howard. Tackle made by number 46, Derek Wotak.
Wojtek, the sophomore linebacker.
9 on the play.
He's been flying around tonight. Finally able to bring down Howard. Ball spotted at the Deer Park 11, 1st and 10. And this Deer Park defense, gotta believe they are gassed as well. They had some good rushes on Cantu when he was in the pocket earlier in this game, but here over the last few minutes in overtime and even late in the 4th quarter, the push just is not there up front for the defensive line in the passing game. They've done fantastic over the last hour of real time in the run game, but the passing game, that pass rush, just not there.
Yeah, it's kind of a fine line because, you know, you're really trying to play gap sound on the zone that they've had such good success on. That's where your eye could, like, as a defensive lineman, you want to have your eyes in the backfield. You see that those guys go into a pass set or something like that, maybe pin their ears back and let it rip. But Cantu is also balancing that out by running the ball and slipping between them here and there.
Morton back on the field, lined up to Cantu's right. Howard to his left. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles from the 11. Little RPO, keeper by Cantu up the middle, cuts back to the middle of the field. And taken down after a short run, takes it inside the 10 to about the 8. So calling to a gain of 3 on 1st down. And Cantu down again.
He's taken some serious wear and tear this game with, you know, kind of the last-ditch efforts that he's given it and taking some shots too. So hopefully it's not anything like that and a little bit more of the cramp and the just being absolutely worn out at the end of double overtime here.
Barbers Hill, they have run 74 plays tonight. 464 yards of offense for the Eagles. Deer Park 59 plays for 350.
So we're going to get either a Wildcat look or sophomore quarterback probably coming in.
Yeah, we saw Wells come in overtime
for the Eagles.
Number 1.
And you feel pretty comfortable if I'm Barbers Hill, you know, with my sophomore quarterback coming in, definitely handing the ball off to Gabe Howard, man, who's had a day.
Yeah, Howard, 27 carries tonight, 164 yards. Likely the recipient of the handoff here from the sophomore Bryson Wells, but we'll see. 2nd down and 8. Hand it off to Howard. Finds a hole along the right side, spinning off and spinning forward. Down to about the 5.
Man, he had a hole there, and I was really impressed by the way it closed up quickly.
Brings up third down.
Couldn't tell. I think it could have been Adam White, maybe the defensive end were all part of it, but man, it looked like a.
Yeah, to hold him to just a 4-yard gain is.
It looked like a big gap for him to maybe punch it into the end zone.
3rd down and 4. Cantu to throw, looks left, fires over the middle. Pass is going to be in and out of the hands of Morton. Just about the only play that he has not made tonight.
Oh,
it was there.
It was there, and you know those easiest ones tend to be the most dropped ones.
4 for the Eagles.
Well, here's the ball game. 4th and 4. Barbers Hill needs at least a first down to keep things going. 4 yards away from a first down, 6 yards away from a touchdown. And the play clock at 7. Barbers Hill out of timeouts.
I got my eyes on Cantu him as well, just pulling this thing.
Cantu scans. Now breaks the pocket, dumps one off, back corner of the end zone. Signal in the back corner. Touchdown, Barbers Hill.
That looked like that was Dale Carter, senior wide receiver, with that catch.
I don't know if that's where Cantu was going, but Carter was there.
Carter on the touchdown reception for the Eagles.
Back corner. It looked like that pass might have been intended for Thompson, but Carter gets it. And Barbers Hill, ball game here as they have to get the 2-point conversion. Coach Flynn sees the formation and takes Deer Park's timeout of overtime number 2.
Timeout, Deer Park. That's their final timeout of the 2nd overtime period.
It's also the first touchdown scored by someone that isn't Keegan Morton for Barbers Hill tonight. So we're either headed to overtime number 3, or if Deer Park can make a stand, they can hold on for the win. Barbers Hill, 2-point conversion, 3 yards away. Morton in the slot. Howard, the running back. Now the Eagles shift. Now Morton gonna motion. Gonna roll him out. Under pressure, and Cantu slips down! Deer Park holds on in double overtime!
Final score, Deer Park 50 and Barbers Hill 48. An incredible comeback.
50-48 the final. Deer Park scores 14 unanswered points in the 4th quarter. And what an overtime game here tonight. And right as he was setting his feet to make the throw, Cantu just loses his footing.
They shifted and then motioned away from Adam White's side, which a lot of times when you do that, when you're in a tight receiver set, you invite an outside linebacker to come off the edge, and that's exactly what happened. So quarterback tried to plant his feet, maybe reverse field, but he had nowhere to go regardless. What an ending, and I know Cantu is beating himself up a little bit for the slip.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was just a great hard-fought game by both sides. And, I mean, really impressed with some of their I'm really impressed with Barbers Hill and what they did. Defensively, they've got some really, I mean, their offensive line was solid. They got some stud running backs, and obviously Morton there as well made just about every touchdown.
So the 2-point conversion, the difference here in double overtime. Deer Park comes from behind and wins it 50-48. And just a phenomenal game, especially by the sophomore Keegan Morton tonight. 6 combined touchdowns. But Deer Park fights back in the fourth quarter when they needed it most. And there's the difference maker right there. Schroeder on the 2-point conversion.
It's actually a similar play design to kind of what Barbers Hill did after and on their attempt. Difference was corner sat on for Deer Park and played it really well in the flat, and then obviously you have the slip and fall, unfortunately, for Cantu. But really entertaining, great game to call and to watch for sure.
Zeke Cantu finishes the night 12 of 22, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 144 yards. Kieselhorst finishes the night 13 of 31 for 234 and 4 touchdowns. Gabe Howard, he was the bell cow on the ground for the Eagles. 28 carries, 168 yards. Keegan Morton, 62 yards on 6 carries to go along with those 3 touchdowns like we've talked about. But Gamez for Deer Park in the running game. 8 carries, 47 yards and a touchdown. Kieselhorst went under center. In overtime, 10 carries, 17 yards, but got the big overtime touchdown. And then Talon Settle, what a night. 5 catches, $141 and 2 touchdowns. And just a phenomenal game here at Hampshire Stadium. Deer Park gets the win, and they will open up district play next Thursday. Going to be down in League City taking on Clear Falls on a Thursday night. And if you're trying to listen to us this past Friday as we were on the road against the Woodlands, thank you for bearing with us throughout the technical difficulties. We're going to have that sorted out so you can listen live. Once again, deernetwork.com/live. to catch that game next week. But if you just want to rewatch this classic, you could do that on YouTube. There's a lot of highlights that you could go through for sure. But Deer Park holds on, gets the win in double overtime, 50-48 the final score. Deer improved to 2-1, and they hand the Eagles their first loss of 2024. So we will see you on Thursday night down in League City. Deer Park taking on Clear Falls, and a hard-fought, well-earned victory tonight for Deer Park. Until then, for Shane Creel, everybody here at the Deer Network, Mason Pratt here signing off from Hampshire Stadium, and we will see you Thursday down in League City. Thanks for watching Deer Park football on the Deer Network.